kundla noma kuba lilunga leParliament emiphakathini yabo. Tikhungo tekuvota titawuvulwa ngensimbi yesikhombisa kuthi made kube inthambama. Sive siyacelwa ukuthi sikhumbule kuphatha bomatisi baso siphinde sigcine nesikhathi.
Livoti lami libalulekile futhi alithengiswa. Ngede ngasala nasakha live lethu.
What a joy for once again being with you, in front of you as a viewer, just to tell you about sports and anything that has to do with sporting activities in the country. Hello and welcome. What a Monday it's going to be. It's a very, very interesting evening because we've got sporting activities that took place over the weekend. Jam-packed show, one would say, where I'll be in the company of our in-house analysts just to give you an overview of things that took place. To start off, there was the Epilepsy Golf Day over the weekend at Nkonyeni, and the golf lovers were quite impressed by when they were joined by His Royal Highness Prince Bandile, who also was part of the event to make sure that this initiative by Epilepsy, of course, keeps growing in the country. So we will get the full report. We get also the interviews from some of our colleagues to see how the event itself went. Then later on, we'll also touch on gymnastics as a sport that we have not really touched on for quite some time. It was a time for selection. So selection now, there are rules and regulations. There are things that they need to be based. You need to have as an athlete for you to be selected. We hear from our in-house analyst, Linda Dlamini, just to know what are those and the in and the don'ts for you as an athlete to be part of gymnastics. Otherwise, there was a boxing tournament also over the weekend to tell you how, once again, they are trying to make sure that different activities under the Boxing Association, we are still grooming new athletes, the likes of Tabiso, Dlamini. They have moved on now. We have now upcoming stars. So this tournament was once again just to look at a chance to say, can we have more upcoming athletes that are interested in taking the sport to the next level. Otherwise, remember, cricket, they have got the A division. So this past weekend, it was all about B division. And, champions were there over the weekend. So our in-house analyst, Dlamini, took a drive to Malkens to watch this interesting game where there was a champion for the B division. So we'll touch on that and see how the story unfolded over the weekend. Otherwise, netball, they had a general annual meeting where they were just looking at some of the issues that touch on their sport. Remember that the executive that was elected last year, the current executive, so this is the first AGM. We heard the full report, just analysis on how the meeting went, because Dlamini, once again, our analyst was there to make sure that you get all those information. Now, in a way of improving techball in the country, they have partnered now. They have a new sponsorship with a package worth 30,000. It's an annual sponsorship, yet to be discussed if it's going to be renewed. So we discuss about this sponsorship, what it meant, and then for 30,000, I want to believe it's all about development of the sport to ensure that they reach in different sporting cause. Now, your latest also information, which also falls under the weekend, it was today's kit presentation. Instacash, one of the organizing, association, sponsors out there, beg your pardon, who keep on showing the interest in developing sports. They were in the company of Eswatini Mobile, who also are not disappointing, so giving a key presentation to a SNAT. So they are heading somewhere out of the country to represent the country. This was well organized, and for the sponsors, Instacash and Eswatini Mobile, we keep on uploading your support, and that as well, our in-house analyst was there, and they will give us more details. But for starters, let's talk about the epilepsy golf day over the weekend, Master. What an initiative. Tell us about the day. How was it?
Ngicela Fabrice ngithathele ithuba ngibonge kungukele ehlelweni lakho ngekuthuba lokukhuluma ngivusele umbukelo weSwatini TV emalwel viewers. Fabrice ngicela nje kubonga kakhulu naba lesisebenta nabo lokufaka ikhathi nawe lokufaka ikhathi mphathizo lokufaka ikhathi Tharibo angeke ngize ngikhone kuwenda lo msebenzi ngingahlala la ngibukakala ngathi ngimuhle esiveni kodwa lo msebenzi
awusona nasithi our in-house analyst ucabanga ukuthi uhambe wetfa
mkhulu lo msebenzi ukuthi ngawenda ngedwa so bonke labamvu lengibabalako bayagijima abalali totonke letindzawo ngiyathatha nje lithuba ngithi ngiyababonga kakhulu lokungenta mine ngibe muhle esiveni kulethela bamvu emakhaya tindzaba letimnanzi.
No, beautiful stuff. That was a real recognition, and I think they need to be very recognized. The behind the scenes, all those pictures people are watching, are seeing, these visuals are produced by them. Now, let's talk about this event, Master. What happened on the day?
On the day Fabrice beqhubeka wona umqhudelwano we-epilepsy golf day lapho khona sibonza sayo inhlangano yebamvu labaphila nesifo se-epilepsy lizinyane banzile safika sadlala sashaya igaluva sakhombisa lamanye ama-golfers badlali beligaluva ukuthi igaluva kahle noyishaya kanjani kwabonakala naye futhi inkosatana lamnisi naye walishaya ligaluva nalamanye emagolfers njengoba ngishilo ukuthi bekakhona nalamanye emagolfers even naye umlangeni Polycarp wabekhona walishaya nabo nebaka epilepsy nabo bajoyina emagolfers balishaya ligaluva lengicabanga ukuthi Fabrice indzaba yinye nje yayo igaluva noma ema-sports because uyakhumbula ukuthi eminyakeni lophelile kwaba ne-marathon esiteki na igaluva la lebese inesikhashanyana ingabi khona solo kwashona i-founder yayo i-epilepsy organization babemahlalela kucokelelwa imali lana tekusita abamvu labaphila nesifo se-epilepsy futhi nekucedzisa kwakha indlu yebamvu labaphila ne-epilepsy lelapha esiteki embaka so ngicabanga ukuthi idinvo leti ludzingako ukuthi ibona umdlalo wayo iligaluva indvo lenhle njengoba ngisho ukuthi bese nesikhathi ingadlalwa le galuva kwafika i-COVID yamisa yonke info. In fact since nje vele kwashona yena amahlalela beyingakaze yadlalwa ibuyile ke yadlalwa lengicabanga ukuthi lokuhle lokho and lokuhle ke kakhulu ukuthi yona sibonza sayo lenhlangano sifikile siyathi ukuthi bamatasa ngetindzaba te-live kodwa bathatha isikhathi betelana batohlanganyela nebantu bahlanganyele nayo inhlangano ye-epilepsy.
No, beautiful stuff. Talking about the Prince Master, because as we can see, the beautiful pictures and the weather on the day was quite accommodative. Our colleague Sandile Makanya got a chance to just caught up with him, the Prince, just to give him an overview of what the event was and just to give us also some of the ideas of way forward. So Sandile Makanya, in a short interview with the Prince, this is what they came up with.
Nkosi siyabona kunemsebenzi lomhle kakhulu namhlalana Nkosi besicela ukuthi uthi ngabe ipurpose noma ingcikithelo yomgcizelwano ingabe ithini Nkosi.
Siyabonga sivusele bekunene sivuselene nesive sonke semaswati. Namhla silapha phinze sitowenda lo mkhosi we-epilepsy wegaluva. Kuyimvokotelo enkulu ukuthi umdala ezulwini uvumile ukuthi sikhone ukuthi namhla sikhone kuba ne-tournament semithathu eminyaka cishe engcile ukuthi sibe nayo le tournament esigabeni sokuthi kube sengenabona bo-COVID. Kepha-ke namhla uNkulunkulu usendele umusa lobu umqoka nje bayona le namhla ukuthi siqhubeke iraise yona i-awareness lesifo sekuwa ngoba kusekhona ukuthi labanyenti bacabanga ukuthi kumbe tinto tebuthakathi noma ini kanti cha sifo njengatonke nje tifo. So siphokophela ukuthi sive sisatiswe kahle ngale sifo ukuthi hayi sifo njengatonke tifo. Phindze futhi sibe nendlela kufundisa ukuthi umuntu nakaphethwe ngesifo sekuwa wenlishwa kanjani nabelusito batholakala kanjani. So kulomdlalo lona nje kutokhuthatha nje maswati nekhutsata nje tinkampani ukuthi tikhone kufaka isivivaneni ukuthi ukhule lo msebenzi.
Nkosi ngabe lo myumbuto Nkosi wesipili kungaba ukuthi ingabe ninedise kanje ngenhlangano ngemithi medication elenisita ngayo abantu labaphila nesifo sekuwa ukuthi ngabe kukhona la kushoda khona ukuthi yanzele imithi.
Singasho nje ukuthi uhulumende wayona ingonyama uyasibambisa kakhulu ekutholeni imithi na uhulumende wase Taiwan through embassy medical mission nanayo iyasisekela kakhulu sinhlangano kulamalanga nje laphelile bekuphuthula bodokotela kuyaqala kumanendvele kanje nekuhlanganisa ama-health sectors inqumbi endlininye ukuthi kuphuthule bodokotela labantu khona kunaka abantu labane-neurological disorders. Kithi nje kuyasithokozisa impela ukusho ukukhula kwayona le organization.
Siyabona Nkosi kunebadlali begaluva labaphumile kulomsebenzi namhle. Ngabe nifisa kubona le tournament ikhula ibheka kuphi? Mhlawumbe ukuthi ngelinye ilanga nje sengadiywa nebadlali bemhlaba labadumile.
Kunjalo vele kuthi ngoba ingonyama yasho ukuthi live lithuthuke libe nge-first world. Nathi nje sikulo mkhankaso ukuthi nasi hambisa Temidlalo. Siyathi ukuthi kusasa kutawuphuma bo-Tiger Woods bethu la Eswatini nanabo batakwatiwa mhlaba wonke. Futhi for i-organization as well ngoba yonke organization emhlabeni baxwayisa ukuthi ibe socially responsible and involved. So le ndlela tema sports njengale galuva indlela nathi nje lesiba socially involved emimangweni nekusita bantu labana lesifo.
Now, great message from the Prince, and once again, just showing the initiative behind this idea. And thanks to our colleague Sandile Makanya from the OB unit. Master, what are you getting from the message?
Lokukhulu kakhulu Fabrice lenguvako ngilelihlitiyo nelithandvo lale organization ye-epilepsy nale vision lalafisa ukuthi tonke letinvo tigcine tifike khona bamvu labaphila ne-epilepsy bagcina banakeleleke kanganani ngicabanga ukuthi itinvo leto lesitidzingako bamvu lesibadzingako labatawuba nenhlitiyo lemnene inhlitiyo lenesihawu inhlitiyo lenhle ngicabanga ukuthi Fabrice ngiloko lokumcwa kakhulu njengoba sathi ukuthi vele indzaba ya epilepsy kakhulu solo bafuna kucezisa lesakhiwo sebamvu labaphila ne-epilepsy khona le embaka so kuhambe kahle kakhulu ama-golfers adlalile Fabrice khona engonyeni badlala including nema-golfers alapha ekhaya uyaliva nelizinyane liyasho ukuthi vele kuthi sifike ku-first world kudzinga ukuthi badlali beligaluva balapha ekhaya nabo bahlabane nalabanye badlali beligaluva balamanye imave.
Beautiful stuff. Press presentation, Master. We couldn't say, yes, it was an event that drives raising funds and anything. But, Sisho, Master, would see Igaluva njenge sport. Nangabe khona lophumelele nje at some point. There's press presentation. And Laban Laba, Master, they are quite patient. Would see whatever you give them in terms of prizes. They're not expecting your 45,000 check, but that kind gesture would see, I played and this is what I won.
Celan Mazia na Perry laba citsa kuphuma but laba senza unekuqala uSkumane labangena ekuqaleni nguSkumane na Respect bona ke baba senza unekuqala lokusho ukuthi bathola 47 kanzi boculane na Perry bona bathola 40 ngibo laba basenza unekuqala father and son ngicabanga ukuthi tinvo letilo tithandza ko Fabrice kutibona kubabe nendvodzana ukuthi badlale sport bahlabane tinvo leti lengicabanga ukuthi kuwonke Kenneth Ngambule unamduduzi Maphalala ya nabo bathola lapha baphuma babasenza wenesibili bona bathola 44 ngicabanga ukuthi tinvo letilo tifisako ukuthi bona ngihlale ngisho ukuthi igaluva as much as bathi sport lesidulile kodwa the prize money noma letinvo labatholako kumnanzi nje Fabrice ukuthi uphumile uhambile ungibaba wasekhaya ubuye ekhaya ubuye ne-microwave ekhaya ufike uthi make ngifike ngahlabana
ngithe kule ikhona nangabe ikhona
ufike uthi ngitholile lokuncane khona le egaluveni ngicela kubuya ngidoletha naku ngiyethula lapha ekhaya uyabona next time uyakusupport uyakuthengela iclub uyahamba uyodlala ukhokhela nje 20,000 nje uyakuthengela iclub uyahamba uyodlala
ungaphumela amagama lathi baba nawe uyaphuma kwaSaturday galuva inevo le sifuna kuba nawe but once you come with something it's a congestion. Now let's move to gymnastic, Master, because I'm interested in what was happening over the weekend. Gymnastic as a sport, for quite some time there were issues of how are they going to establish themselves to get competitions and representing the country. But now umsebenzi bokhona ngaweekend, Master. Kahle kahle bekwendekani usichazela kahle.
Gymnastic Fabrice njoba uyivetile ku intro yakho ukuthi sesikhashanyana singakhuluma ngendaba yema gymnastic. Gymnastic ifuna kubamba ema nationals ayo kude ungeneke uqualify
national champs.
Yes ayo kude ungene uthole isikhala ukuthi uyodlala kuma national champs ema gymnastic awuveli nje ungene ukuthi ngalosimine nginelicembu noma ngalosimine ngiyawenda ema gymnastic uya qualifier shothi kunema qualifiers prior kuma national championships lengicaba ukuthi kuyakunika lesindvo because ema national championships lokusho ukuthi sizabe sesithola luluju leselifociwe leselikhokhiwe lapha kulamakheke ngicaba ukuthi yena lo buke yona i-gymnastics Leon Young ngicabanga ukuthi le vision noma lo mbono labanawo ngawema gymnastics yes athasa sikhathi kude ema activities kodwa ngicabanga ukuthi lokhu labakwentile dimvo letinhle bamfana labancane incumbi yabo labe bakhona la uyabona ngicabanga ukuthi likusasa lawo ema gymnastics because usikhuluma ema gymnastics kumele ukuthi kuma Olympics sithole umuntu lotosimelela lotawuhamba ayomelela livela seSwatini abuye nemendlela.
I'm noting the youth, Master, khuluma number in terms of age group, and I think it's between 5 to 12 which is something that we are encouraging. We want the kids, just be the ones. So now Mbuga, the president and the association, the executive, their target very is the youth.
Fabrice siswati sithi ngumlibalo yembili lo. Umlibalo yembili ke Fabrice awuhambi noma awukhona kundlondlobala kahle la kunelishe khona. Awungeke nje uzungene ukuthi nangumbhidi wetinzanga lapha phambili lomliba uthi wena utawukhona ngena etsheni awungeni. Kodwa uyakhona kwenaba indzawo lekahle ukhone kumaneuver around leto dithelo letikhona. So laba ngibo cabanga ukuthi likusasa lema gymnastics Eswatini, likusasa le Eswatini kuma Olympics. Njengoba ngisho nje mina ukuthi na utawuthatha umfana lona 9 10 11 nguye lo lotawuya ukuthi after boma 6 7 years so ya kuma Olympics awuyokhompita nemave lafana nabo South Korea, nemave lafana nabo Japan, nemave lafana nabo England, because umqale asesengaka njengoba sisho ukuthi ngumlibalo ya embili.
Quite impressive. Now, let's listen to Lee Ann Young. She is the Secretary General of the Eswatini Gymnastic Federation, obviously the president being Malindi Dlamini. Lee Ann Young is just going to give us an overview of what they were trying to do and what should we expect from this youth, especially in terms of how they have selected the team.
Well, we haven't had a competition in a while, so this is our kids' first competition for some of them in over 2 years, which is besides their club competitions. So from here, our kids will then get selected to go and compete at our nationals. So not everyone gets to compete at nationals. From here, we do our selection to compete at nationals. Some sort of a qualification, but it's also just an opportunity to get the kids to compete and have fun, because that's what we want to do. The kids need to come here and have fun and compete. Oh, I think we're progressing well. We're hoping to take some of our athletes to compete in South Africa later in the year. So I think we're progressing well.
Now, beautiful stuff. Master, going forward, we've heard about the gymnastics. Let's talk about boxing, Master. There was a competition over the weekend. Boxing as one sport, the Singasha, they are quite active. Monthly, there should be one or two tournaments. Over the weekend, there was another tournament, Master. What figure kanza?
Bekune tournament ye development lapha ezulwini Fabrice eKhatli Phatli indzawo lena leyatiwa kakhulu bantfu bahamba bangcebeleke noma bahambe bayothola kuphumula khona. Kodwa ke bekune umdlalo wesibhakela khona lapha eKhatli Phatli lapho khona bafuna ku developer le sport ngoba bekungumcuzelwano ubadlali bashaye besibhakela labasebancane. Lona ke umcuzelwano Fabrice uhlelwe noma ulungiswe emacembu lamabili akhona lapha ezulwini lokuyi Titans kanye ne New Boys. Lencabanga ukuthi idinvo leti lotfuna because emacembu lamanengi if mhlambe labanye abati ukuthi emacembu lamanengi emidlalo wesibhakela lapha ekhaya lamanengi aqhamuka ezulwini enzaweni nasezulwini. So ngicabanga ukuthi kwenda lokhu kubuyisa lo mdlalo wesibhakela khona ezulwini nekudevelopa nje wona lo mdlalo wesibhakela acishe live lonke. Emacembu ke labeka khona la bekasikhombisa Fabrice kodwa ngithanga kuvete lokhu njoba sikuvetile na Elliot ndzabeni ukuthi ngilimele kancane nangidawubona umdlalo wesibhakela kudlala emacembu lang7 kodwa kubebethe ngisho nayinye umdlalo wabosisi kunishona munye ufikile one boxer kwaba beti opponent lengicabanga ukuthi dinvo leto lekusathi ngakuthi yona boxing association ilungisa kakhulu Fabrice because kuma competitions angaphandle siba nabo emaboxers latawuhamba umelela live isikhathi nje ukuthi mhlambe kuleya seshowini letaba khona emavikini latako babe khona bomake labashaya sibhakela kulomcuzelwano seshowini.
Now, this is development like Master highlighted. I like it, but we need the female aspect. Yeah, we need, you're right about that. Now, there were some clubs. There were new clubs, including New Boys clubs. There was Titans Boxing Club. And of course, the representative from those two clubs would have to say something in the company of Mbenduru Mbingo, one of the member of the association who is a development officer. what was the day like and what was the feel like? Going forward, what can you expect?
Sibamvula basha labakhona kakhulu kugcwele esibhakeleni sizama ukukhuthaza abamvula basha ukuthi sibabuthanise babe kanye sikhone sibalekele kutidzakamiva nokuhlala nje neganga lokuthi sibe ndawonye siyakhona ukuthi sicoce ngempilo sakhane sikhuthatane sichube impilo yembili. Yes, Kanyu Boys silicembu lelicala yes lasezulwini siyatiwa kakhulu sike saba nawo nje emabox lamakhulu nanyalo ke sinabo bamfana labancane age of 10 years sinabo baningi kakhulu bathi bala ku 10 or 5 la bakhona la ezulwini siyabajabulela siyabakhuthaza lokho siye sibacele nebatali babo ukuthi babalethe bambana because boxing it's a game akusiko ukuthi kuyaliwa it's a game it's fun kukahle kakhulu for labancane bakhule bagroomed nasidlala sibhakela siye kube nemithetho yakhona so lokhu awuhambi nje wenda noma ngabe ngayini because you guided by the rules of boxing.
Kakhulu ukhanza ukuthi le youth yiningi la mangweni ukhanza ukuthi abasanako into ekubalibatisako so kungako nje thina sibe boxing decide ku collector labafana sibakhiphe busy ngendlela letabenda ukuthi ba focus nababe esikoleni bakwade ukuthi okay thina sine training ye boxing mabasuka lapho basuka batsiniwe baye emakhaya bageze badle badadisha nabadadisha bese bayalala kungabe ukuthi nababuye esikoleni bangena ititolo babheme bende lokhu naloku so kakhulu kusita lapho nje kafushane sibhakela la kangwane sesiyanyuka lelizinga lelisekiso manje vele kuyakhombisa ukuthi sibhakela sesezingeni lisetulu futhi sibhakela sine future lekahle ngoba nasetimalini sinemali vele na uphumelele wathola lo number 1 la kule category yakho lodlala kiyo waphuma wahamba wamelela live lengephandle vele uthola nawe sosemathubeni ungaba rich nje ngegaming igaming ngakuthatha kubeke la ufise khona but kungaya konke ngitimisela usoyimisele kanganani ngendlela sibhakela lesichubeka ngayo kwanyalo sisahamba kahle noma imathimu lamaningi angakakhoni kuvela ngayidinga imali akhashane nibantwana basesikolweni but sinayo lenye futhi mhla ka6 September eshowini la khona sibheke bonke abantwana ukuthi bede ikakhulu kade laba labancane because sibhakela silimala lapho kulabantwana abanabo 10 bo 15 years bo 18 years le youth ngilapho labantwana lafanele khona baqale sibaceceshe bathi sinathi befika le ma world championships kuma Olympics bo Africa ukhanzele ukuthi vele sebanaye bo 30 40 50 fights nyalo sisimixa abantwana ukhanzela ukuthi unabo 3 5 fights and ushaye nje udlalekayo noma kabili asuba yi-champion mabefika lengaphandle befike bamshaya nje round 1 angena nje lokho akusiphathi kahle but ke siyacela singathatha le thuba sikhuthaze bo coach and nebatali ukuthi bavumele especially umfana wentombatane siyawafuna bosise sibhakeleni it is a male dominated sport but bomake bakhona and sekunemali esibhakeleni yana sebathola bo 10,000 US dollars nayo ishintsha le mali is close to 200,000 emalangeni yakhe lo mfana le mali ayibi ya coach noma yilive lokusho sikhona inqhubekela phambili esibhakeleni eSwatini akusiphathi kahle semithe leminyaka solo i-girl child solo side kahle esibhakeleni but sekakhonyana labo lese bakhona siyazama kuba expose because kwanyalo lesikwendako siyile office lesibhakela sisa expose i-girl child kuma international levels sihambile nabo babuya nabo silver medal ngendlela kuma youth games babuya ne silver medal kuma kuzone babuya baluza kuma quarter finals kuma Africa lokusho ukuthi labantwana bayasifuna lesibhakela manje namhlanje ngicabanga ukuthi ngaba yi-date because bavalekile liviki lephelile esikolweni so abakakhona ukuthi icecesha kahle but basithembisile ukuthi eshowini mhla ka6 September namhla ka9 batabe bakhona ngoba tikolo tabe divaliwe and batabe sebanaso nesikhathi sekuthi labantwana bakhona ukuthi iceceshe sinayo nje umntwana lana lefanele lamele live laseSwatini kuma Olympic qualifier eSenegal siyam expose because yinengi le funding lekhona lengaphandle manje besolo ingakhona ukuthi eSwatini ukuthi bacabanga ukuthi sithe i-girl child eSwatini kanti sinawo lama girl child mane
kuba le-office kwanze usalikhona ukum-expose leyo mntwana. So sithatha le thuba nje nakucela abatali nabo bocoach kakhulu kade bocoach because isibhakela bocoach nakude coach kude esibhakela coach wangete esibhakeleni then lo mdlalo utokwendana esibhakeleni. So kuningi lesigadzile la kubo coach baphinze barafele baphinze bajudge ukubona labo coach because kulanza lo munye coach erafela ekhaya noma longamati ayithatha orafela la kanti sinabo labo rafela la kangwane lekungibo bona labo coach. So i development ibande kakhulu kuningi lesafanele sikweni seseningi umsebenzi. Ngiyacela nje ukuthatha le thuba ekutheni tiponsa ngoba ku host tournament le kanjena imali ungathi silapha njena kube ngile sponsor lo munye ufisa ungazi singabe silemgwaqweni noma ngabe sile bomall semaholeni but kuba netimali ngoba it's close to 10,000 emalengeni kubeka sibhakela lekuyimali lengasimelula kuyithola kula malanga inkampani yakhala tisinado tete imali ngibocoach labanene bagcina bathi bathatha imali yabo emakhikini abo ukuthi bathuthukisa sibhakela le kanzi inqumbi yabo futhi lebocoach esinabo la Eswatini abasasebenzi inqumbi yabo.
Great stuff by the Eswatini Boxing Association, Master. Let's move on to cricket because Naskumang cricket is what you call B division. It's the national first division here. And then over the weekend they had a tournament where Arbakrat are the champions. Now, Master, champions of the B division, does that mean Sabapronyotiwe?
Yes, Fabrice, bedlala wona emanqamu ayo i-B division khona lapha eMalkens Country Club. Siyathi ukuthi iyona i-B division idlala imidlalo yayo enjabulweni. Kodwa ke ngalo sileli bekulanga lemanqamu ucala wona ama semi-finals kwase kufika wona emanqamu lapho khona kudlale iRotania idlala neAlbakat lapho khona iqalile yabhetha yona iRotania kwashaya yona yashaya yathola ama runs la 154 kwaphuma ema wickets la 9 ibe seyabuya ke yona iAlbakat seyinale target ukuthi kumele ishaye ngetulu 154 lokusho ukuthi kumele ishaye 155 kuze inqobe wona lo mdlalo. Bangena ke ema-batsman abhetha yase igcine imtholile 155 ema runs kanti khona bekuphume nje ama wickets lang 5 kuphela yase yawina ke yona iAlbakat ngama wickets lang 5 kude itoba bo champion bayo iB division. Kodwa babe bo champion nje nayo iRotania nayo because ifikile kumanqamu lokusho ukuthi sebenyukela esigabeni saka BD saka A division lokusho ukuthi nje imidlalo yabo bona nabo sebatayidlala la enjabulweni imidlalo yabo inqumbi.
Now, people who really were happy with the victory, I think it's one of the senior players, Go Arbakrat. It's Imran Asghar. Imran Asghar, I think we're going to listen to him. We'll also hear from the Rotania and then also get a chance to hear from the development and the technical officer. And who also happens to be tournament organizers, that is Mr. Zenzele Mazibuka. Let's listen to Imran first and his excitement about that victory for Arbakrat.
Tournament is fantastically very well, especially the organizer. I appreciate the umpiring, everybody done their part very well. We are very happy there. Very well. We want to come this side to play in Malkans and we done that. Wonderful, wonderful. Fantastic weather, good ground, outfield is fast. Everything is going very well to our side. And a team combination, I congratulate especially to Haider Ali. He's playing fantastically very well. Thank you.
It feels very proud, okay, and it's been a hard work for last 3 months that we are playing in the B division, and we know that the team. First of all, I want to wish the winners good luck, okay, and we will be in the A division, and we are going to do well with the A division. And this tournament has given a lot of young talents in our team. We have some new players who have performed well, and we have our own player, Mr. Hanif, who has performed, and he has been chosen as the most valuable player of this tournament. And we have also seen that there are a lot of Eswatini who have performed well in this tournament, which is good to see. The cricket is developing in the country.
Batakithi sekaphakamise kakhulu ukuthi angafika kule level lena, but ke final level edlalile yabamnanzi ama-team sekaphakamile letawe kodlala ka-A division. Nyalo into lesiyibonile kakhulu lana ukuthi i-competition ibe inkulu ngalana ekhombisa ukuthi amaqembu seka-ready ukuthi sekangayomelela angangena ka-A division. Sinama-challenges esinawo as a cricket sponsorship because nanyalo nje wonke lama-tournaments laranako arana through i-association kuphela kude tinkampani letisitako kusibambisa ukuthi kurane lama-tournaments njengoba lamanye nawo imidlalo elandzelela eyendebe. But-ke siyafisa futhi siyathandaza ukuthi tinkampani tasibona nathi ukuthi khona lesikwendako ngalana ka-cricket basibambise sichubeke sitokhona kuphakamisa lezinga le-cricket eveni lakangwane. Pool seyivuleke kakhulu nyalo because abantu abadlali abaka-B division but nawuthi uyababuka lama-levels abo angetulu ngisho kunabadlali abangale ka-A division because the cricket it's a team ledlalwa ngeke udlale individually nangabeka kanjalo udlala ngekuthi ube nebalingani bakho lo dlala nabo as a team. So kukhona nje bantu vele labakhona lobona ukuthi sebangalimelela live ku national team noma ngabe badlala ka B division because sibonile namuhla njengoba ubeka ukuthi ifinal yethu beyinhle kakhulu kudlalwa umdlalo lo secopheleni lesedulo. So le pool vele seyivuleke kakhulu because baningi kakhulu abantu abafuna ukudlala le cricket and baningi kakhulu laba labanawo lamandla ukuthi bangawafaka bayokhona kumelela live kahle.
Now, that is Mr. Mazibuko from the Cricket Association. He's part of the executive. He does development, anything that has to do with tournament organizing. Now, Master, before we leave cricket, just touch on the commitment. There's problems of sponsorships. Mazibuko highlighted that. But Ngutsanza was the determination and commitment of these teams. This is Rotanya in blue. The team, I think, Nabo, we've seen them in the past. They're a good team. But the teams are very committed despite the absence of sponsorships.
Yes, Fabrice, ngicabanga ukuthi lona licembu le-Rotanya as much as likhale phasi kumancam, but most valuable player uchamuke khona, best bowler uchamuke khona. So yeah, ungacabanga ukuthi leli cembu lidlale kahle kwani. Yes, yona i-Albakat kugcine kungibo labathola leyanzebe lenkulu lokusho ukuthi babo champion. Kodwa ngicabanga ukuthi i-Rotanya this season yes bake baba khona phela ku A division, ku A division,
and I think babambene kahle na Park 11,
bo Park 11
yeah,
nabo Datas. So yeah,
yes.
So uyabona ukuthi
babane cricket club
bayabuya kancane. So nyalo kucinga ukuthi bathole badlali because some of the players inqumbi yabo bangetulu kwa 50 so bathenga ukuthi bathole lokungenani badlali yeah laba kubo 20 then babuyeke kancane bashayela nabo nabo 18 but nje kancane Fabrice. And solo sikhala ngako ukuthi ema associations la njengabo cricket because bona bayadlala le tournament cishe throughout the year badzinga ema sponsors labo labantu abasekela ngetimali bakhona kurana i-tournament cishe kube nale prize money bathi nje ukuthi no the most valuable player uthola lokungenani 5,000 best bowler uthola lokungenani 3,000. Then le standard tasibeka kusibekele etule. I know ukuthi i-cricket labanengi bebacabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe sport sabo umnakethu noma sabo siswethu labachamuka eAsia, but ku semi-final kuleli langa leli sibone i-team le 100% emaswati and le team le idlala yafika kuma semi-final. Ngicabanga ukuthi iyadeserve ukuthi siyishayele itandla. So ngicabanga ukuthi kancane kuyavela emaswatini, kuyavela ukuthi sport lesidlalekako sport longasina ukhonile kuti dedicate kuso ukhona ukuzidlala ufike at the highest level.
Now, that's what you get when you have this man in the studio, researched and digged information. Now, Master, let's move on because I want us to touch on netball. They had a annual general meeting over the weekend. Now, we all know that whenever we talk about annual general meetings, when each association, be it football, basketball, volleyball, everywhere, their politics, Master. You can't see even there's a group of specific people or clubs, officials within the association. So there's always those information that you want to hear from the association. I want us first to listen to the submissions, Master. There were submissions that you were there in the company of colleague Patricia Msibi. There were submissions that were held, were discussed during the AGM. Then when you come back, because there were things that we need to talk about. I think Netball is one of the association in terms of sponsorship. For a year, they are covered. When you talk about influence, you talk about Eswatini Building Society, they are covered in terms of sponsorship. They want to improve more. But after the submissions, Master, there is something I want us to discuss. Let's listen to them. Those submissions that were held during the general meeting over the weekend by the Netball Association.
Financially, number one, and Namatimabo, are they capable of competing with Ella? Uma setaba chairman, setaba Donsan Kara, president, we will be embarrassed to meet them. Put say Raiders, Masters, Better, and Professional, I get it. So let us not take it lightly, when you talk about Elite, you're talking about the face of netball. So Nyakela President, MC Agahanga engage
the office Namapalani, Lina way Lamatin office. Do you have the structures? These are the teams that we have in the marriages. That's why I was now can't the connect number of marriages in Kumara executives wherever and marriages now.
Not a team from Mangaya, who's I don't like Elite. Very difference in Kuluga cool in terms of playing, two in terms of what is the man roles. Given the expectation that Manga came at teams that Swama teams that perform more. So that it's saying, I'm not sure to see as a pool the game. But as a second pass, as a pool that over myself, I was a machine, marriages, but don't walk to Coachella, Bo, my Smith, the very marriages. La bon pies was service about back Noma, since the music game, we played 60 minutes, some say, being higher, since the umpire.
So, ngiyacela mina ukuthi asisuke saba competition sithi sitawudliwa kakhulu. Vele kufunga kanjani. Lengasonka sikwazi bathiwa kunemayoyo teams. Yangena amaphibiyela emva kusasa, yangena amaphibiyela emva kusasa. Because of that. So, asesifunze nawe ukuthi imithetho lesitakhele yona sesike sithi adhere to those rules.
Sifuna ukuthi wonke umthetho wakaNetball sitawuhlala phansi. Siwusholo ukuthi ukuthi simabeka kanje sibe ne-input. Nisini nama-input nokhulumele ama-egos cause nje mina la ngibadinga. Mina ukukhuluma nami wena seswe mina team bayadike wena. Itophile nyala ka-Super League ifuna ngiyisetha kankulu. Ngiyitele imali. But ngeke ngibase ngesuthi lo mthetho mangithi bafuna ukudlala Super League nje. Itawu yetha kankulu ife ngakhona idawudayisa ligama noma ngiqhele abangakhona. Awungathi uma ngabe esportini lakangwane ukuthi imali into eqala le. Usima sowufikile wena basokhala kana ngifuna ukukhuluma bala masoje. Yami team itophile but ifuna ukudlala ethamakhulu, ifuna ukudlala emhlungu, ifuna ukudlala kala ngisukele emathatha. Kutobona abayiphethe le team ukuthi ifika kanjani le. Ngeke sengivimbele intuthuko ngithi mina ngiyithi imali. Ngithi ama-team akangasathopi lasuke emasipala la Super League. Lokho kumile nje akusinikwe shethu. Kuthi umlokuthi ngalo omunye ongibuta ukuthi ngiyakhona yini.
Ngiyasivuma nesikhulumile sithi kukabi lokuthi namuhla we set up this rule, and then when the subject changes so kuyachange kanzi lento asigayini sine objective yini. If we continue to be subjective, we'll always have meetings lapho khona. We need to be objective in certain things. So na sinyalo nje sitawamba sitele meeting because the subject has changed. Sunday another now, next AGM, iyashintsha futhi subject. Let's go uyabona. Ngikhumbula kulomnye umhlangano kukhulunywa inzoba yema players la international. angazi noma ngathi isikhuphula ukuphila kanetball. So sina sasikhulumisa lo mthetho wathi hayi bese la correctional. So if that trend ichubeka, then we're going nowhere. Sibhala ukuthi base MC bayikhuluma in meeting nema teams bavumelana ukuthi kwanyalo plan sakugcwalisa bataphinze kube ne-waiver yokuthi utawukhona ukungena la ka-elite abe na stokona lo 12 stock khona ukuthi lo msebenzi lama playoffs siwele next round la ngabe assets lama teams afika abangu-12 so next season sendala ema playoffs ngokwetla 2 unyuka 2
kufuna sibone signature ikhona la ODT. There's an executive. Before put that on the floor, you should have signed Lama financials. So that these financials are authentic. So stem, Saludo, Sende, Lama. Secondly, you must tell me your opinion yake. It will lead.
Without an opinion, it is very difficult to accept. We accept these financials. Maybe let's go by the signature audit on what we can do. But we will go are these auditors or keepers?
And up to last week, even to yesterday, when Solo our call Hiranesa report, yet in actual fact, the AGM will be May. Even 2 to 3 months later, Solo our call Hiranesa report. Can you tell us what's ye in the Wadaganga was wrong for Hiranesa report? Boban and Tamana would have audited it.
It's a good financial report. Ngoba lokho ndathi lesithulela khona ngoba leya ngisebenza hayi akusi financial report le ungayiletha kithi simalunga lahloniphekile lapha sakho la kolwa nguwe emhlanganweni ofana ne-AGM because njengoba sisho nje ukuthi akunama signature ngani thina we don't know ukuthi lama phepha lawa treasurers nika wona authentic noma kanjani
accept because of ABC. So sidacela ukuthi treasurer ahambe executive ithi iyolungisa lo raise alama financials opinion the signature.
Yes, sir.
Oof, it was hot in there. Those are some of the politics I was talking about. To say, you know what's challenging in most cases, where in this case, Master Ngabekisanje Gutsi, Nabukanza Gutsi, they're asking the tricky questions. They used to sit in the MC, but now they're no more in the MC, or they own clubs that are at the top level, so they know what's going on within the executive, so they can easily put question marks. But Nyamuva, current president, Masango Atkaza would see if they keep on doing those petty things that are happening within association, which you and I might not know, they're not going anywhere. Master, what are you getting from this
AGM?
But
Fabrice, ngihlethi nje ngilalela lo mhlangano ukuthi kwekuqala in fact nje imvo labakhuluma ngato kakhulu lama members noma lamalunga ayo inhlangano emidlalo netball kwekuqala maqembu langekho ku elite league labakhala ngawo kakhulu ukuthi nakasuka le babekisa nje usina isuka i-team emangayane seyitanga la elite league itafike ibe yoyo team because isuka esigabeni lesincane seyo compete nema teams la sacishe abomkantshubovu yes wakhuluma nalomunye yaselibonjeni bakhuluma kakhulu ngenzaba ukuthi yena nje unelicembu leli ise big band sekumele awudlala kubothaba nkulu kude umle kumele akhale kuye but kumele ayele ngicabanzi leto iwagcina uvumelekele umhlangano ukuthi vele lamacembu atawusuka ayele elite league ukuthi umle kumele bamkhalele kodwa inzaba kakhulu labakhala ngayo inzaba yembiko wetimali umbiko wetimali in fact lapha kude le signature ye-audit ukuthi auditor ukuthi kufikiwe wa auditwa umbiko wetimali nako konke ke timvo letingekho clear i-AGM yaka netball bekumele ukuthi benga May June July August September sorry May, June, July, August
Kocha na kunema irregularities kule report kanzi kune delay ya 3 months
tinyanga letintsatfu
bekufuna ba correct ama mistake
solokude isignature yalobukile wahlola timali ukuthi tihambe kanjani lokhu kusebente kahle yini kwale association 3 months later so ke emalunga akhala ngaloko ukuthi lo mbiko beva ngase awukapheleli futhi bangeke baze bawumukele ngoba kude nale signature ukuthi yes iauditiwe yes bathi ithi EMC iauditiwe basengambhadani nalomvulo auditako kwakhulunywa ke Fabrice isikhathi kodwa egcineni lamalunga agcina avumelana ukuthi cha thine umbiko wetimali asiwumukeli wathi ke EMC le holwa nguye president Ntombo kaMasango cha siyavuma i-financial report ayikapheleli njengekusho kwenu nasi siyavuma asesihambe utawuthi after 2 weeks emaviki lamabili sibuye sinilethele umbiko losacishe asagcwele lonako konke leleni kudzingako nini malunga umbuteko uthi sekutawushinje angeke yini usaphekwa kodwa loko sitawuva because thina sifuna kwenda ama-assumptions sitawuva sitawuhamba futhi siyothamela umhlangano nasebaleso.
Good question, Master. I want us to move on because we've got two items, tech ball and a kit presentation quickly. But last question I want you to umpemvule first. Would see you see that the MC and most of these people not only are they involved at netball, they work somewhere else. Kwaye kwabakhona ukuthi ungaye emhlanganweni uphethe ama reports angakasayini. It's either it's done deliberately, they knew it's going to be questioned. There is no way you go to a meeting without reports, without having signed the reports. So nama members vele, they are smart enough to question. Or you were hoping that allegedly, we're not accusing the MC, allegedly hoping ukuthi angeke bakunaka. But if ucabanga ukuthi ngeke bakunaka, should you are hiding something.
Ngicabanga nje ukuthi kuba careless noma ngakubeka nje Fabrice kungahloniphi lo mhlangano nawuthi nginika i-report lenga lete ema signature lafanele noma lengaphelela sithi nje lengaphelele ngicabanga ukuthi usuke ungahloniphi lamalunga nawa la kuvotela akufaka lapha kulesihlalo losuke uhletu kuso so ngicabanga ukuthi yena president naye i-MC yakhe asebahambe batibute ukuthi konakelephi balungise bathi nasebabuya nale financial report kuthi ngakuthi ba issueishe i-apology kulama delegates because sesikhathi sabo nalokuthi nje babalethelelite kanzi financial report imcoka kakhulu for i-association.
Now moving on, other two associations over the weekend, starting with Techball with their sponsorship presentation that is worth 30,000 Marangini Master. Let's talk about them quickly. There are no speakers, but just to talk about the event itself, what it means, and it's all about developing the sport and taking to all the regions of the country.
Yes, Fabrice, i-Techball Eswatini ya partnerisha nayo i-Lactalis yatiwa ngaphamalat kakhulu lapho khona bafake imali lengu 30,000 emalangeni lotawu usebenza kakhulu developing le sport lapha even developer kanjani ke le sport kuma activations ayo i-Techball batabe bakhona le mali tawudlala inzima lapho kuma tournaments la khona ayo ilangaphasi kwe Techball le mali tawudlala inzima lapho bese kuthi ke i Challenger series leta konyalo nje ngeshow letabe idlala ngeshow the naming rights yale Challenger series itawuthathwa i-Lactalis leqala letabe iseshowini so ngicabanga ukuthi it's all about developing the sport noma ngabe kunema activations kuphi naye ngathi nje Techball kusasa i-decide ke inhlangano lokusho ukuthi le mali ita contributor kuloko.
Master, quick one, now it's a show in you are referring to a trade fair.
A trade fair.
Yes, and Master sesi YouTube umuntu wase America utatibuta ukuthi show what show siyathi la kaya nathi si show yasi sikhuluma i-trade fair. Sendela nje umuntu losibukela kashani Master. Yeah, different delegates were there, sport council, we saw the president of
IOCA, yes, IOCA president beka khona i sports council beka khona even naye technical director waka iyoka bekakhona icishe nje cibamvu lesingathi kuma sports bebakhona because nakutaba na iyoka na sports council suke kune ma sports aphelele even ngicabanga ukuthi le recognition leso sifunako kuma sports ukuthi nangabe kutaba nebamvu labafaka imali kubonakala ukuthi cha bindlale inzima lenkulu kakhulu developing sport.
Now, they are not the only people that are coming to the party, because you talk about Instacash and Eswatini Mobile. They also came to the party for SNAT earlier on this morning. Master, you were there. Kit presentation for teams that are traveling for international competitions. What's your take on this, Master? Seeing these people coming to the party.
Inhlangano lengamele bona bothishela lapha even Fabrice SNAT siyodlala ema games eBotswana emidlalo yabo inhlangano yabothishela lengala industry nesifundza selvekadi leAfrica. So Eswatini Mobile bakayina Instacash babone ukuthi kufanele ukuthi bothishela le ekudlaleni ekhambeni babe netembatho tabo babe neljezi labo labatalgcoka. Eswatini Mobile ulifakile ku netball walifaka ku volleyball walifaka ebholeni. Kwase kuthi ke Instacash naye wayifaka ngala ebholeni esakhombula ukuthi naye Instacash beka sponsorisha nga 105,000 emalangeni not so long ago kuye SNAT kufa kudlala imidlalo ya SNAT onke ama branch aSNAT la kakhona lapha event. So ngicabanga ukuthi idinvo leti Fabrice because inakhuluma ngaSNAT ukhuluma ngebamvu labacashe cishe ba tisebenta hulumende letinyendana uyadzinga lo refresh after kufundzisa noma after kuhlala eclassini bafundzisa bamvana. So uyadzinga timvo letaba refresh bahamba baye eBotswana ema games aqala mhla ka25 aqala this coming weekend khona eBotswana lapho khona bayoshukumisa umtimba. Ngicabanga ukuthi baya deserve ukushaya ngomoya.
Now, beautiful stuff, Master. Thank you very much for your presence. And if I'm correct, Krumenga 7 to 8 sporting codes, and for you to have all the information for those 18 sporting codes, it means very serious. Master, thank you very much for your presence. Green Mamba, but Thursday there is Lipo Eswatini where we specialize only on football. So on that occasion we talk about the Green Mamba who lost their first leg away game over the weekend against UDFC from UDFC Songo from Mozambique. Preparing for the second round this coming weekend, we'll have match analysis coming from this men and also hear from the coach and see how now they are preparing for the games. Master, thank you very much.
Akubonga mina Fabrice ngibonge nawo ngibonge naye umbukelo weSwatini TV ama-loyal viewers njalo njalo Fabrice njalo njalo bahlale banathi njalo njalo bahlale basikhuthata. Ngiphinze ngibonge again nine Fabrice nalesisebenta nabo ngekukoleka tonke letimvu lesikhombisa yena umbukelo weSwatini TV.
Bayakhala Master ukuthi sengibonga kakhulu. Until we meet again, this is Linda Dlamini, Fabrice Musona, the entire crew, Eswatini TV.
Emaswati have heeded to the call by the head of state, His Majesty King Mswati III, to come out in their numbers and register to vote for a new government under the slogan, Ngetenga Sala Nasakhalive. Eswatini TV has also listened. Our newsroom is ready to deliver. Our journalists will be in all the polling stations in the 4 regions of the kingdom, covering live the 2023 primary elections. We will be bringing you the events as they unfold through your traditional TV and social media platforms. The joy and disappointments, the mixed emotions, the anticipation of the unknown, and the tensions. you will be kept at the edge of your seats as our news crew hit the ground running as they bring you live the 2023 Eswatini primary elections.
Uyezwana. Ha. Lalela. Ngikutshele tindzaba letibuya enkosini. Uthi okandaba. Tinfombi imbali yemaswati ayiphelele esigodlweni elitsitsini. Mhla tingemashumi lamabili nemfica enyangeni yengci. Titawufike tibhalise ngalelo langa. Kuyawuphunywa mhla tingemashumi lamathathu. Bese kugecwa umhlanga mhla tingemashumi lamathathu nakunye. Titawubuya mhla lulunye kuyo inyoni. Tiyaphumula mhla titimbili kuyo inyoni. Tiyawuchitha umhlanga mhla titintsatfu. Bese kuyagidwa mhla titine. Bese tiyakundiphethe mhla tisithupha. Umyalo etikhulwini. Nguleso naleso sikhulu kutsi ngeka sikhiphe emajaha lamane kutsi achube tinfombi kute kutsi nangabe kukhona kungaphili kwalomunye webamfana mabili emajaha abikele labo labafanele nekutsi abikele batali noma lomfana asafakwe esibhedlela. Nawo lamajaha ayati kutsi tinfombi tilala todvwa nemajaha alala odvwa. Tikhulu tiyayalwa kutsi tingakhiphi bantfwana labancane ngoba ngekwesweleka kwemhlanga etfutane labamfana ababe basakhona kuhamba indzawo lenze. Siyimbali yemaswati sichakazile sitayincoba iCovid. Usho njalo mlomo longacalimanga. Ethe wena phakathi. Lokhipa simemetelo inkosatana yembali sakhizwe. Nine bekunyene. Imbali iyatiswa ukuthi ingeti netinele tekwebolekwa. Inga makeup, inga rouge. Obabe tikhulu abayele bamfu labangaphasi kwabo kuthi bangalokothi batsinze noma bashaye libuthu. Nakwendekile lokho nalo lilahle kubo. Tinsatheli tekhaya netangephandle tiyayalwa kutsi titsatsisise kahle ngaphambi kwekuthi tibhale. Bayethe wena phakathi.
Siyathandaza
Sanibonani bazalwane egameni lika Jesu Kristu waseNazaretha. Akabongwe simakatha akekho lofana naye. Nguye ekuqaleni futhi nguye nasekugcineni. UNkulunkulu ungisimakathe. Bekungenteka liphutha namuhla kuthi kungenteka ukuthi siqale lo msebenzi noma ube khona lapho sibese sikushiya ugula nasikukhanza ugula nasikukhanza usenkingeni sikushiya usetinkingeni. Uthi Jesu mina ngitele into yinye ukuthi bantu babe nekuphila. Namuhla ngithi kaseke ngiqade nayi indzaba nayi liBhayibheli lithi la kude khona sambulo bantu bayabhubha sisambulweni lesithi in his presence ebukhoneni baNkulunkulu kuyadzingeka ukuthi uNkulunkulu abe khona empilweni yemuntu. Manje lapha kunetinto letendekako uthi Jesu ke nakata ukhuluma uthi nangabe kukhona into lofuna abantu bayende kuwe yende nawe kulabanye. Haleluya. Ngifuna ukulanza nayi indzaba nayi lekuthi uma ngabe kukhona into loyibonako leyenteka empilweni yakho noma leyentiwa abantu ubo wathi ukuthi lento leyo ayentiwa abantu kodwa yendiwa nguwe kuwe. Ayikho into leyentiwa ngulomunye kuwe wena kahle kahle uyenda lolohlangana nako bakufunza lapha kuwe. Impilo yemuntu isibuko ifanana nesibuko. Sibuko sireflecta lokhu lesikubonako. Uma ngabe uyahamba uyofuna umsebenzi emsebenzini ufika ufuna ungawutholi, it is not about lalabaqashako, kungenxa yakho wena unesimo lesithi wena awusuwuthola umsebenzi. Uma ngabe uthi ufuna umsebenzi bafike babathathe kuthi landzela wena bese kuyaphela. It is because of you. Hallelujah. Uma ngabe uhlangana nelijaha lithi lingakudalisa likushiye, it is not about lelijaha, kungulento lephakathi kwakho. Kunemoya losebentako phakathi kwemuntu lo wenda simo sendeke kule yakhe impilo. Ngakho kudzingeka bukhona baNkulunkulu phakathi kwemuntu. Jesu uthi nakangena akhanze unemabhadi ekushiwa indvodza ifike indvodza bese iseyahlala. uJesu nakangena ukhanze unemabhadi ekuthi umsebenzi kawutholi bese uyawuthola umsebenzi. Jesu nakangena ukhanza ungulozi ingozi. Nangabe uhamba ngemoto ushayisile kule nyanga lephelile nakulo mnyaka lophelile washayisa ngemoto, timoto takho tiyashayisa, ungulozi ingozi. It is not about labantu labakushayisako uze uthi bangishayisile. It is about your spirit. Sine kushayiswa le spirit sakho enzaweni la uhlala khona bomakhelwane abakuthanzi. It is not about bomakhelwane, it is about you. The presence of Christ is needed in your life. Nkosi Jesu uthani, Nkosi Jesu nasi impilo yami. Sanibonani egameni lika Jesu. Sangena ihlelweni amadodana nendumiso, sangena singasathumelanga Thundwane. Sisho njalo sithi iyawuvunywa ingoma egameni lika Jesu. Sithatha nazi likwaya lamadodana litasinika na ingoma umkhosi wamadodana, batasinika la umhlabeleli lothi omohawu singene sithathe ingoma egameni lika Jesu.
Oh
siyabonga kakhulu, sibonge kakhulu bazalwane, sibonge kakhulu nangumkhosi wamadodana bebasho njalo bathi omohawu bese bajika abafana benda nje bafana. No, uyabona bese mina bese kuyangihlupha ngathi bese ngathi ngangijoyina onke lamakwaya bese ngiyajoyina nje ngathi ngathi sengilapha ekhaya. Akabongwe uNkulunkulu. Ake sesihambe siye lapha kuphila kwamadodana. Bathi awusho njalo bafana basekhaya bathi ndiziqela phambi kwakho. Zonke inkohlakalo zami emandla uNkulunkulu akabonakaliswe.
Ndiziqela phambi kwakho zonke inkohlakalo zami, ndiwe enyaweni zakho ekuthandazeni kwakho, ndilifuna ithawula
Siyabonga bazalwane, sibonga kakhulu bazalwane. Hawu bahamba bafana basekhaya. Ngiyakutshela. Uyabona ngeke ngathi nangifika lapha edolobheni bangijubela lapha. Bangijubela abantu bangijubela. Bese bendangazi bantu ukuhlabela mnekani. Bendiwa ngini madotsana lokuthi le ndlu yenu niyayilungiselela. Qhubekani niyilungiselele le ndvo yenu. Sinibhekile futhi sinibuye nitawuthatha futhi siphinde sinifake. Hallelujah. Asesithathe nangumusa nangumusa wabapostoli. Umusa wabapostoli basho njalo bafana basekhaya basiqaphela mlomo wami. Qaphela ukhulumani ngoba livi la uNkulunkulu lithi uma ngabe kukhona umuntu longakhulumi liphutha loyo muntu uperfect ngoba nakuthiwa kukhona into lekufuna siqaphele lulwimi lwethu. Qaphela mlomo wami ukhulumani. Musa wabapostoli. Siyabonga bazalwane, sibonge kakhulu bazalwane, sibonge lapha kuMusa wabapostoli. Musa wabapostoli ula emankayana. Yashaywa ingoma emankayana. Yashaywa ingoma emankaya. Tishiyana ngemjefezo lapha. Musa wabapostoli kuthula kwamadodana, shilo kwamadodana. Kuthula kuthi nya. Siyambonga uNkulunkulu. Ake sesithathe nango umhlabeleli kungena laba abafana basekhaya usindiso lwamadodana batathi bawo xa ndilahlekayo bawo xa ndilahlekayo
Oh, lahlekayo
waba muhle uNkulunkulu waze waba muhle simakathe lo sethi kwako konke egameni lika Jesu Kristu waseNazaretha. Siyabonga ukuthi sesihambe saze safika la. Njengoba sesifike lapha ke bazalwane, sifike lapho sesiphetha khona, siphetha khona liviki, siphindze sifuthi siphetha khona isizini yethu lapho khona besihamba naleti ngoma tethu. Siyaqela ke bazalwane njengoba sifike emaphethelweni sikhuluma kuwo emadodana akithi akahoko, sikhuluma kuwo aselibonjeni kamanzini eshiselweni bakhona neshiselo sigode esimanamandla. Ngiyathi bafana bakithi kuthi nasala nasilele emuva baba bancane kakhulu lebeda baqhamuka ngalapho. Ngakho ke sesiyanimemeda manje sithi nathi tincingo tethu niyadati nita sithinza etingcingweni siyarekhoda futhi for the next season. Sithinzeni nje kungedala kube nje nawu neliqingo nje namanje nangiphuma la ubese uyangithinza ngikubeke phasi ngikurekhode 7628 5022 lapho ungithola khona 7628 5022 thuthu ungibamba lapho na ungibamba lapho usho ukuthi cha reverend cha Geninza noma kanjani ngiyabeva abafana bami sengibalolongile bafike ekugcineni ngakho ke noma kanjani ngiyathi ukuthi batayibeka induku ebandla sisho njalo ke ukuthi uNkulunkulu benathi kwaze kwaba lapha emandla uNkulunkulu abonakaliswa ngilanza la ukuthula kwamadodana sengivalelisa sengideda le ndawo kuthi nabaya bayizindwendwe uyawuba lanza bonke sesiyanivalelisa ke sithi papa hayi umusa waNkulunkulu nekuhlangana kwamoya loyingcwele ngakube nebantwana baNkulunkulu kuto tonke tinkhalo in Jesus mighty name.
Sanibonani malangeni amahle. Sanibonani kulo lonke live la kaNgwane. Tigotsi ngetigotsi siyanivusela nalo uhlelo lelo elithandzako. Inguzanguza phela yelihlelo. Nalingekho niva abhlungu ukuthi ngabe ke lushonephi. Liyanivusela lilangeni liyanivusela ligolagwala lithi akube mnanzi inhleti nibiya kuyokhonta. Senikhontile. Sesemakhonweni ethu phela siphiwe nguye ke umdali. Ngingahambi ngedvana ngaso sonke isikhathi ngihlala ngihamba naye ke babemzelubele the gorilla ifish ledliwa abantwana ifish ledlala nebantwana sawubona mngani wami unjani
hayi mngani wami ngikhona ngiyaphila
haleluya
hayi ngiyaphila
haleluya amen
anginibingelele emakhana semadolobheni kuphi na kuphi lani bona kuthiwa shumkhumbi langifisho dliwa abantwana yebe kunene hawu nginithandi do imbamba anginithandi go ngihamba nani donke tinza lapho nihamba khona ingane niyangibukela nani ningibukela ngithi sanibonani kulisonto ngibuya koligwaba lapha ka All Nation lapho ngijika khona umkhala ngiyabulala nayini pho ngibingelele donke Thosangwane ngibingelele Johonqweni ngibingelele lonke emabutho la khona lababuthekele njengami lapha yana emgadlela ngisanibonani emgadlela phakamsantandla lapho awubekunene ngisika sengiyagijima ngisinamhla asengihambe ngilanze umfana walapha phasi eshiselweni bathi imvukunyane ishaya maskandi bekunene itawushaya ingoma lemnanzi ngithi nje ngeke ngichaze walapha phasi lomfana uthi chobe
Lila masayo Itanda ziseni Totole mkwele Setusina Lila mapastor Itanda ziseni Totole mkwele Setusina Lila washayo Itanda ziseni Totole mkwele Setusina Totole mkwele Setusina
International Trade Fair. Eswatini TV brings you a trade fair promotion and a double celebration package. 5-minute live interview on location for only 4,600 emalangeni. A live Kusila breakfast show interview on location for as low as 3,450 emalangeni. 30 seconds complimentary message for only 12,638 emalangeni 50 cents. 30 seconds commercial advert with a minimum of 20 slots, corporate for only 659 emalangeni 15 cents. Small medium enterprise for only 332 emalangeni 72 cents. Promotion ends on the 30th of September 2023.
Sesibuyile lapha emakethe. Hayi sekumnandi tisibonakala ukuthi bekathi sisashaya ifork and knife. Ngase ngiyajikisa manje. Ngathi ngeke asengilanze isimanga. Ngiphinze ngumlanze ngale khoneni. Ngithi yenkosi, boyala. Khona leta uqhamuka naye. Bakhulume silalela. Asengihamba.
Siyahamba bakangwane siyahamba namuhla sisespeak phela lapho khona ke sine artist yethu lenshashashasha ledlala yona ke i-reggae music idlala le reggae music nje ngisizwe wakadlamini Sibongo Nkosi Dlamini utabavusela nabaya bakubukile emakhaya ubavusele ukuthi ingabe igama lakho lekuperforma ungubani
angenivusele babukele emakhaya lona nikhuluma naye ngogrinder njengoba sekashito make la ukuthi ngisizwe legama lekutshalwa ngokadlamini Sibongo.
Okay Nkosi ingabe Dlamini wekunene tingoma uyatibhalela noma khona lokusidako nje
kwanyalo bengisaka umtholi lebe kangibhalela ngoba bengisaka sibone leso sidingo sokuthi mhlawumbe bekangaba khona lelo ngangibhalela ngoba kusede njengoba ushito ukuthi ngisasejali sithandza kuvela ngisathi bambele mina mhlawumbe ekhambeni kwesikhathi ngahamba vele athi ngeke ngenxa yemsebenzi engabe
nguva kahle Nkosi urecordile noma usapheka kwentekani une-album
ngirecordile lokho lokuncane lengisa sebendela tukwako for ukuperforma lapha nalapha but ke vele i-album isendleleni ngoba ufuna igcine vele nayo
ucabanga kwenta ngakhe ingoma nje
benginawo lokufisa ukuthi mhlawumbe mangathi ngisebende kahle this angafika ku15 wetingoma
album yakho yonke
ikhathi le album yakho
okay Bulkhuni ke usapheka nje ngibuphi lo dibana nabo usapheka le album yakho Nkosi
Bulkhuni angifuni ngekuqala emanga ngidibene ke nabo ngenxa yekweswela kwetimali tekwenta kona nokurecorda le totingoma letsinga kulapha ekhathi kuleyo album yakufuna ngikhokhe vele hayi ngeke ngiqale emanga ngibe nayo ke lenkinga yekweswela le totimbasha ngoba uyathola ukuthi nayi lengoma ibhaliwe lapha sekufuna ngigijime ngiyorecorda le recording sengidawubanjwa ukuthi yathi angeke ngirecorde ngingakayitholi leyo mali lekade ayidzinga producer wami lena lapho uthola ukuthi sekufuna ngime mina ngimele ukuthi at least ngithole indlela ukuthi ngibe naleyo mali base ngiyasukuma base nginayo le mali ngiyaya ngiyorecorda nabo kweBulkhuni lengabe sekudibana nabo ya
manje ke kule music wakho i-reggae music ukhwela uke wadlala khona nje tindzawo la uke waperforma khona nje bakubona ukuthi cha ngoba mina kufanele nje vele ukuthi ulakhi Dube sovukile kangwane
ya kodwa ngingasho ukuthi uvukile njengoba nawo umbone ngiperformile mina nengizawo lengiperforme ukuthi angiboni ukuthi kukhona lengakaperform khona la kaho
okay Nkosi
wehla kuyofika endasi
sole bayabona
amanzi solo kuyasetshenzwa
bayakwathi nje ekhaya nje ukuthi vele wena
ya ekhaya bayangadi ekhaya and proud nalokuthi banako lokungisupporta lapha nalapha although ngingavela ngaba ngumuntu lo wavele wahluka kwecala nje ngabangedwa ukuthi bengaba nemadress endli
okay Nkosi
vele ngaba surprise ukuthi akambe bengende abang-accept ngendlela lengiyiko
liphupho lithini nje after about 3 years bo 5 years utibona kuphi ngalo mculo wakho
after 3 years ngitibona ngirijaha litawuthi ma walibona abantu basho wathi no nangilola keDubo leli kuthiwa wafa kahle ivukile lijaha and liyasebenza nemali and ngisho ukuthi nabo labangibonile lapha nalapha
i-energy bayayibona ukuthi no iyonke njengoba naye bekavele anjalo liphupho lami belilakutheni ngibonakale ngingumuntu vele amkhulu ngendlela yokuthi nanoma ngibani lengakhula naye mhlawumbeni abone ukuthi ati kuyabeketelwa la ngephandle kuyabeketela when it comes to music vele kakhulu.
Nkosi ngabe boba nema artists lo sebenze nawo nje laba atiwako lapha evenda kangwane ngabe bakhona lo sebenza nabo nje wakheni lo music wakho noma nangabe kude
okay ngingasho ukuthi bakhona although labanye bakhona thola ukuthi incenye sengidawuthi okay ngasebenza naye
yebo
ngaleyo ndlela ukuthi ubangiproducer at the same time.
Okay.
Ngwele wangakhela umusic lisulumane imnyama then hamba nalenya jaba athi nguzwifaya kunokusetshenzwa kakhulu ngibobani labangenda ngativa ngithola emandla ngifika la sengikhona nami ngiva ukuthi no
nguva kahle
kuyasetshenzwa
Dlamini. Ingoma ithini Nkosi sesiyarola siyagoqoda uyavalelisa manje. Ingoma ithini usitshele ukuthi usithembisana sive ngalomculo wakho nje bese uyavalelisa Nkosi. Bese usinika igama lenkomo. Lo silethele yona lamuhla.
Ingoma lengilethele yona namuhla. Ithi le strong. Ngiyathemba babukele emakhaya niyayadi. Lapho lenge ngavela khona ngiperforme kakhulu and ngiyathi lokuthi uma kwendeka ngithi nami le strong ndabe ngisho ukuthini le strong luthando kahle le strong luthando kusho ukuthi le ndlela le operate ngayo game owner la kulabanye nabo la batayibona into lengisho ngiyangasho kanjalo ngasho kanjalo
so vele uvalelisile Nkosi kunjalo malanga lamahle uthi ke li strong lithandwa ngisho njalo Nkosi
yes li strong yeah
come on what's a kind I promise to marry you. Soon you come with me in my home if you want to, if you don't. Woman with me, Kenya, you can't feel out. Bambolam, put you no same. Can't feel out. No matter no sugar. Who for pillow and the look. Tina, nothing man and Latin Magdalene. As you can start and then the spill out every day. Dali, yo, dance when Basalugu. Prefunana no time, no lang in bed. Dali, yo, dance when Basalugu. Prefunana no time, no lang in bed. Dali, yo, dance when Basalugu. Prefunana no time, no lang in bed. Dali, yo, dance when Basalugu. Prefunana no time, no lang in bed. From the first time when you baby girl I met you, umoya wa mashona pass, wapenzo geti money, unkolo sendile nje logo tan come sending to tandan, ashuleka kul my kunum san, para now I live to more photo hat to stand up, kasi la mi la kechi manjan mambo geme to dali yo, dansi wendo solo, nana no time, no lang embela, no tender love stand the way is strong, I saw the sun sugar now in stop still last line, no tender love stand the way is strong, I saw the sun sugar now in stop still last line, no tender love stand the way is strong, I saw the sun sugar now in stop still last line, no tender love stand the way is strong, I saw the sun sugar now in stop still last line, Yeah. Understand? You understand? Yeah. But then the Lord is understand the way is strong. I saw the Africa not in the stuff, but still last night. But then the Lord is understand the way is strong. I saw the Africa not in the stuff, but still last night. But then the Lord is understand the way is strong. I saw the Africa not in the stuff, but still last night. But then the Lord is understand the way is strong. I saw the Africa not in the stuff, but still last night.
Kunjalo malanga lamahle kunjalo ngoba sehla senyuka phela ama-artist onke sifuna avele eveni kubede lethi mina ke angikhoni kuvela noma ukuphi sila kufikela mngani wami sikhathi sethu manje siyarola siyagocoda sithi lokhu ngapheli ngakuyahlolelana phela umgodla
umgodla uhlala ukhona mngani wami njengalokhu senikhulumile nemfana walapha espeak la benikhuluma khona tindzaba te-music nikhulumisana phela bekumnanzi mngani wami singasho nje ukuthi ama-artist onke kusuka lapha yani art center esiteki lapha esiteki ninama-artist lapho niqoqanani bese niyasithinza espeak njengalokhu sikhona khona nyalo qoqanani lapha espeak bese futhi niyasithinza ngishiselweni njengalokhu silanze khona qoqanani bese niyasibili kamanzini qoqanani bese niyasibili iSwazi TV iyahamba iyofika kunana inkulumo lokuthiwa wash umkhukhu the toe wash
umkhukhu the toe wathi mawusha wami mngani wami asenamhla sesibakhumbula kuthi phela nithi nisibukela nje nikhumbule phela nekubhadala i-TV license ngoba nangabe anibhadala i-TV license angeke nisibone nithi awusole nisifuna ukuthi baphi bangakuphi kanti inkinga ngini anifuni ukubhadala i-TV license nikhumbule nithi aphinze niboshwe naningafuni ukubhadala i-TV license nile benkosi nibahle nonke emakhaya siyanithanza siyadikeke ukuthi ke nani ngalokho njalo niyasithanza kuthule veni siyakumemetela kuthule veni kuthule khathethe endlini amen
ngithi the yours ngithi mnci wena utangidlalela bye bye
mina zange ngisikhothana wendombe qomela imali ngasebenza mina zange ngisikhothana wendombe qomela imali ngasebenza mina zange ngisikhothana ningangifanisi namadoda ngasebenza mina zange ngisikhothana ningangifanisi namadoda ngasebenza mina zange ngisikhothana wendombe qomela imali 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 ngasebenza mina zange ngisikhothana ningangifanisi namadoda ngasebenza mina zange ngisikhothana ningangifanisi namadoda ngasebenza mina zange ngisikhothana ngasebenza mina ngizame ngesikhatshana ngingangifanisi namadodeni ngasebenza mina ngizame ngesikhatshana wentombi eqomela imali ngasebenza mina ngizame ngesikhatshana wentombi eqomela imali ngasebenza mina ngizame ngesikhatshana
A country in Central America has become the kingdom of two very different lizards. The basilisk carves out a carnivorous existence, while iguanas choose a slower pace of life. In such a competitive realm, both species are capable of performing strange and seemingly impossible feats in order to survive. With very different tastes in food, the two species rarely come into contact. But when the newborn reptiles take their first steps into their forest domain, battle commences. In the war of contrasting lizards, survival is no guarantee. In Central America, there is a land of endless rainforests. Costa Rica. Over a third of this foliage-rich country has become a nature reserve. As a result, natural habitats thrive and create a home for around 5% of Earth's species. Birds of extraordinary vibrancy flourish in the lush forest canopy. Incredible colors are somewhat of a trend of Costa Rica's wildlife. the platinum-jeweled scarab beetle is perhaps the most radiant of the forest inhabitants. It is believed its immensely shiny body reflects its surroundings, camouflaging the beetle against the dense foliage. Larger creatures also reside in the bountiful trees. Sloths can be found high in the forest canopy. With plenty of food on offer, the distinctive mammal can enjoy a slower pace of life. Below the trees, there are yet more wild wonders to discover. Lizards are abundant in Costa Rica. At only around 5 centimeters in size, slender brown anoles survive amongst the forest vegetation. Males use an extendable flap of skin below their jaw called a dewlap to communicate with potential mates. The elaborate display seems to have the desired effect. Further down, there are even stranger creatures. This snake-like body, in fact, belongs to another species of lizard. The streamline reptile can move rapidly along the forest floor. Of all of Costa Rica's many species of lizard, there is one that is famed for its intimidating appearance and fierce nature. The green basilisk. The distinctive lizard's fearsome features gave birth to their namesake. Basilisk originates from a terrifying monster of Greek mythology. As their predatory appearance suggests, basilisks are carnivorous. Straying into this lizard's territory is a fateful mistake. It's not just insects on the menu. A basilisk will take on anything it can fit in its mouth. Even its own kind. Victims are swallowed whole. With a third of the country being a protective nature reserve, Costa Rica has become a sanctuary for more than 70 species of lizard. Among the distinctive creatures, there is one that dwarfs all others. At 2 meters in size, the green iguana is the largest lizard in Central and South America. The huge reptiles live in large groups. Like the basilisks, they strike a fearsome appearance. Hardened scales act like a protective suit of armor. To complement their formidable looks, green iguanas are also equipped with sharp claws. Genders are easily identified. Males have swollen cheeks, clad with enlarged scales. Females, on the other hand, strike a more understated appearance. They may be known as green iguanas, but they in fact come in many different colors. Some of the lizards lack fully grown tails. Their distinctive stumps are evidence of the iguana's ability to shed their tails when attacked. Fortunately, they do grow back, given time. Despite their bulky frames, the lizards are at home, navigating the forest's many trees. Their fearsome-looking claws are in fact specialized for climbing. They may look predatory, but these lizards show little interest in passing insects. Wandering invertebrates are simply an irritant rather than a tasty treat. The larger lizard has a much different taste in food. These fearsome-looking creatures are strictly vegetarian. Leaves are their staple food source. Herbivores may be a rarity in the lizard world, but green iguanas have a ravenous appetite and will consume as much plant life as possible. Juicy fruits are a particular delicacy. Flowers are also on the menu, and the lizards will go to extreme lengths to get to the flowery feasts. Known to consume around 30 different kinds of plants, green iguanas have little chance of going hungry. It is believed that they evolved to become herbivores, so not to clash over food with carnivorous lizards like the aggressive basilisk. Over millions of years, green iguanas have become perfectly adapted to life in Costa Rica. They start their day off in a lethargic state. The lizards are awake, but movement is minimal. As ectotherms, they rely on the sun to warm their body temperature. Thermal imaging shows the waking iguana is only 25 degrees Celsius. As the sun rises, the lizard begins to warm. By 8 a.m., the iguana finally hits its perfect body temperature of 36 degrees Celsius. As they have relatively large bodies, they take a long time to warm up. After a morning bask, the iguanas can eventually head out in search of food. With food readily available, the longest an iguana will travel from its home is a mere 100 meters. There's no chance of the plants running away, so the large lizards can afford to cruise at a steady 3 kilometers per hour. Once the best location is found, their morning feast can begin. But after just 15 minutes, the dining iguana is forced to cut its meal short. Loaded with food, the lizard must head back to bask. Their need to rest is a consequence of their vegetarian lifestyle. Plants contain cellulose, which are particularly tough to break down. Iguanas do have plenty of microorganisms in their intestine to aid digestion. However, these organisms need to be close to 40 degrees to function properly. To achieve this, iguanas must keep still for 96% of the day. It is an effective method, but being static for such long periods can leave an iguana dangerously exposed. A post-breakfast sunbathe can become a matter of life or death. Unbeknown to the resting iguana, a huge boa constrictor is making its way up the lizard's tree. Just as it gets within striking distance, the usually docile iguana dodges the formidable snake. But it is not enough to deter the persistent predator. With nowhere else to run, the iguana has only one option. A leap of faith. The large lizard makes a surprisingly good swimmer. While basking, the cunning reptiles usually pick branches that hang above water. Diving into the unknown is the iguana's last-ditch survival tactic. The carnivorous basilisk is also not afraid to enter the water and has no problem navigating its way through the aquatic world. However, they are not alone in the river. This is also the domain of the spectacled caiman. Reaching up to 3 meters in length, it dwarfs the basilisk. Stealthily, the caiman stalks the floating lizard. Once within range, there is no escape. A basilisk stands little chance of outswimming a caiman. But it does have a secret weapon. These lizards can literally run on water. This extreme form of propulsion is much faster than swimming. To achieve this seemingly impossible feat, basilisks pull off some astonishing footwork. The speedy lizards make 20 steps per second to stay afloat. All their momentum stems from their powerful rear legs. Web-like folds between the basilisk's claws open when in water, creating a larger surface area. The first phase of this incredible stride is a powerful slap. Force generated by the impact produces a mass of air around the lizard's submerged legs. This perfect technique creates less water resistance and allows the basilisk to lift its legs out of the water at astonishing speeds. they can keep up the lightning-quick pace for around 20 meters, giving them more than enough distance to escape a pursuing predator. As November awakens, Costa Rica is entering the hottest and driest season of the year. As ever, iguanas bask in the morning sun. However, this male's coloration has dramatically changed. He has turned orange. The change in color is called nuptial coloration and happens during the mating season. At this time, males partake in a peculiar head-shaking ritual. The unusual display is an iguana's way of communicating its presence to its rivals. A shaking head is a clear warning to any potential trespassers. Even with all the frantic displaying, males still come face to face. Fights erupt all around the canopy. Those with the best treetop position must be willing to fight to keep hold of their prized real estate. In the land of the iguana, encroaching onto another's patch is an act of war. The incumbent treetop male must decide whether he wants to risk all and take on the approaching intruder. However, the defending iguana has not mastered treetop warfare. Crashing to the ground, the clumsy male hasn't just had a hefty fall. He's also lost his prized territory. Only the strongest will be able to secure mating rights. During this season, males will spend most of the day battling for dominance. As the iguanas reach the middle of their breeding season, the fighting begins to calm down. Those that have fought well have been able to secure a harem of females. For the successful fighters, the real work starts now. Males with harems must get back to their head-shaking ways. Although this time, the iguana does not want to scare anyone off. He is trying to impress his females. But the wooing tactic is having little effect. Undeterred, the male carries on. No matter how hard he shakes his head, the female shows zero interest. Finally, the persistent male takes the hint. A female iguana will only be receptive to a male's advances on a few days within the breeding season window. To stand any chance of mating, the head-shaking lizards must keep their act up for days on end. Persistence seems to be key. With a female closing in, it could be this male's big chance. But unfortunately for the doting lizard, he is simply in the way. The head shaking must go on. For those without a harem, they must be more opportunistic. Scrambling up a tree, this male has sensed a chance of romance. A female straying from her harem is an opportunity too good to miss. Rushing the stray iguana, the male latches on to his potential mate. This could be his only chance to extend his bloodline. However, he is not alone. The scuffle has lured another male. Chaos erupts over the trapped female. Such force does not go down well. As soon as the bullied female gets a chance, she leaps to freedom. The two forceful iguanas need to work on their social skills. In contrast, a male with a harem has been taking a more subtle approach. And patience is a virtue. His constant displaying is finally paying off. 2 months after mating, there is a change in the female iguana's behavior. Their appetite has dramatically decreased. The change in eating habits signifies they are close to giving birth. At this time, expectant mothers' abdomens are packed full of eggs. With no space left for food, this female is on the verge of laying. To give birth, she must first descend from the canopy. Once on the forest floor, the mother-to-be needs to find the best spot to lay her precious cargo. A disused animal den adjacent to a river, is the perfect location. Before laying, the iguana must further excavate the cavity. In total, she lays around 80 eggs. For now, her work is done. The heat from the ground will incubate the developing eggs. June hails the start of Costa Rica's rainy season. It has been 3 months since the iguanas spawned. In contrast to the frantic breeding season, both male and females have become less active during the day. The falling water cools down the lizard's body temperature, sapping them of vital energy. While the rain falls, the eggs continue to develop underground. With their mother giving them the perfect incubation chamber, the developing lizards are ready to hatch. From the tiny shell emerges a perfectly formed 30-centimeter long iguana. It takes an hour for the newly hatched lizard to free itself from its egg. After a couple of days, the newborn iguana takes its first steps into the outside world. It's not the only one braving the outdoors. All the siblings have surfaced together. It doesn't take long for the newborn iguanas to get used to life in the trees. Once outside their incubation chamber, the young lizards stick together. However, they cannot rest forever. Finding food is a priority. From the get-go, iguanas feast on anything that is soft and green. For the first few months of their lives, the tiny lizards will stay together as a family group. Through day and night. The sibling lizards maintain constant contact. evolving to become herbivores is believed to be the main reason for the green iguana's success. They can be found throughout the tropical zones of Central and South America, and not just in rainforests. Some iguanas have even taken to a more urban lifestyle. A small town in northern Costa Rica has become a hotspot for the large lizards. Thanks to their ability to feed on a variety of plants, iguanas thrive in the urban environment. And have even become a hit with locals and tourists alike. There are plenty of newborns taking their first steps into their urban home. They can be found all over town. Gardens provide the tiny iguanas with plenty of food. Soft flowers are perfect for the little lizards. Wherever there is tasty foliage to be had, green iguanas thrive. It's not just iguanas venturing into the outside world. Newborn basilisks are also taking their first steps. From the get-go, they commence a predatory life. Insects are the growing lizard's main targets. Their lightning-quick reactions allow the hungry basilisks to catch plenty of prey. In contrast to the iguanas, the predatory lizards go it alone and get their meals to themselves. However, the hunting instinct can often lead the young reptiles into danger. Fortunately, this basilisk has already mastered the art of running on water. But the lizard is not out of the woods yet. It is fast becoming an escape artist. Weighing less than an adult, young basilisks are actually better at running on water than their elders. lighter on their feet, they can even change direction on the fly. This incredible ability helps young basilisks survive a solitary life. Unlike the lone hunters, the newly hatched iguanas are still sticking together. Sprouting grass offers the tiny lizards a fresh feast. However, life at ground level is risky. An adult basilisk has entered the iguana's feeding grounds. Frantic head movements indicate the predator is locking onto a target. Straying into the basilisk strike range, is a fatal mistake. The unfortunate lizard is swallowed whole. A lone iguana stands no chance against a surprise basilisk attack. While the supreme hunter remains in the area, all of the young lizards could face a similar fate. Succumbing to the basilisk seems inevitable. But there is hope for the iguanas. When they stick together, they have many eyes ready to alert the group of danger. Once the alarm is raised, the cunning juveniles split off in different directions, confusing their deadly pursuer and allowing the fleeing lizards to escape. For the young iguanas, their greatest strength of all is unity. Costa Rica's protected forests provide the iguanas and basilisks with a home unspoiled by man. To survive, the lizards have evolved in very different ways. The basilisks use their fierce predatory instincts to carve out a living, while iguanas thrive on a vegetarian diet. As a result, the two lizards do not compete over food. However, there are many threats from other forest inhabitants. Both have developed unique methods to avoid would-be predators, and even each other. They may clash and live contrasting lifestyles, but the fierce and gentle lizards have both become legends of Costa Rica.
Pharrell did an incredible job, and Team Vuitton, congratulations. It was phenomenal.
No, we're coming to the hotel.
Mouth to the floor.
What do you think of Pharrell?
Yeah, no.
I've known Pharrell for a very long time. He's like family. I love him. He's has an extremely, very incredible, he has an incredible eye, always has, and he has never changed since the first day I met him.
It's the event of the season, if not the decade. Fashion journalists, buyers, celebrities and influencers from around the world descend on the French capital to discover Paris's oldest bridge, Le Pont Neuf, decked out in gold, illuminated by 1,000 dazzling lights. As dusk falls, the excitement is palpable as the crowd awaits a fashion show to end all fashion shows.
Hi, how are you? Oui.
Okay, brothers, okay.
Opening the menswear summer 2024 offering is Louis Vuitton. This year, the label's CEO, Pietro Beccari, made a bold call, offering the artistic reins to a star of both stage and catwalk, American rapper-designer extraordinaire Pharrell Williams.
We're delighted. It's like a dream come true. We're here on the Pont Neuf. I don't think this is going to happen again anytime soon. Securing Pont Neuf is just a wonderful story with me and Pharrell that's coming to its wonderful culmination today. In 2018, I was the #1 at Vuitton, and now that I'm the boss, I got in touch with him again, and it's wonderful. We're just delighted, so happy, and we're so grateful to the Paris Town Hall, to the prefecture, for allowing us to do this for Paris. It's a wonderful publicity for Paris all around the world.
And what about designers who are much more than simply designers?
Designers are born out of the wider culture. I think people have a real appetite for wonderful stories, and tonight we're going to witness a beautiful story.
Pharrell Williams is stepping into the shoes of the late Virgil Abloh, a fashion visionary who died in 2021. He knew that fashion today isn't simply about making clothes, it's about telling stories, while never forgetting the importance of excellent design and impeccable quality. Under Pharrell Williams' direction, that same focus lives on as he transforms camouflage streetwear into a byword for modern chic. So, how's he feeling post-show?
Thank you.
Just one word, please.
Electrified.
Another music fan presenting in Paris, the indefatigable Yohji Yamamoto, who'll be 80 this year. and who still boasts some hefty star power.
I think it's super cool, I think it's very inspirational, and I think there's a reason why he's a legend.
Yoji is legend, it's legend. And he's like, when you think about detail and you think about style, it's just so effortless. And the way that it feels, the texture in his clothing is it just feels like home, you know? I think that's what we always want. We want to feel right at home wherever we go. Well, I've been his fan for a while already. I had the pleasure to go to his store in Osaka for the first time when I went to Japan, and he changed my vision. He changed the way I see fashion, and in a very positive way. So thanks to Joichi to make this beautiful art, and he inspired us.
The invitation sent out for Yamamoto's show consisted of a ceramic tile engraved with his double signature and an intriguing message.
First of all, I receive this invitation and it's written madman.
Madman.
I'm a kind of madman. You too?
Yeah, you too. We too.
We too.
We too mad.
Exactly. Why did you choose this invitation?
Because I wanted to mix beautiful thing, beautiful scenery, and ugly scenery. This is in between.
Now, let's speak about the collection. There's a lot of prints.
It's her fault. She sent me very ancient drawing, painting, and building photo. So I wanted to make a show. Beauty and ugly was battling.
My very last question, how is it life today?
Today?
Yes.
Come on. When I become very cool as an adult human being, I'm worrying about the world. It's too much complicated. They make war, they kill people. I feel sad. So when I create the outfit for people, I want let people enjoy and be happy.
According to certain sources, the Louis Vuitton show cost 20 million euros, with global media coverage assured. Yohji Yamamoto's cost nowhere close to that, but that's exactly how he likes it.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show. You know the vibes, it's the beat down. The time is 8 p.m. It's time for you to relax, sit back, relax, and enjoy the music videos that I got for you.
Moving no direction, like it's a calling. When alive in the middle of nowhere, shake the ground and burn the air. So yeah, you don't have to hold back for anything or anyone. Just own this.
It's another beautiful Monday, and thank you for watching Eswatini TV as we bring you a cuppa with Nomcebo. This is a show where you get to meet quite a diverse number of people with different stories, some of them inspirational, some of them life-changing, and some of them will motivate you to actually, put your life first and do what is good for yourself and for your community. Today, we have a very interesting guest with us with a very, very interesting story. He was an ex-convict. He used to steal cars. He used to sell drugs. And he used to commit a lot of fraud in so many instances where he used to work. And he was incarcerated for quite a number of years. I'm talking about Phumlane Smilane, who is joining us today to share his story about how he got into such a lifestyle, of being a criminal and be convicted and actually come out a better person. Phumlane, thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
Phumlane, your story is amazing, and ngifuna kuqala ukuthi ngibonge ukuthi ube nesibindi sokuthi utohlala lapho utosharisha story sakho, which I know a lot of people would be afraid to actually, share such a story. You are a young man ukhula enhlangano. Awusitshele nje kabanzi, just a little background ukuthi ke ngibani Phumlane.
Yeah. Phumlane Phumlane Smilane ligama lami libe ngisebenzisa Moses liwe ngalithandi, and then ke ngisuka enhlangano, although nyalo sengibased ngalabo mbabane eZulwini. So yeah, today he's a pastor from down to zero, to be where I am. I think kakhulu what is lokwangenda ngene intweni letiningi, part of was the family setup, because mauva ngathi ubane rejection or maybe bayakuhlukanisa, that what maybe le young teens are trickerisha, then ke lokunengi lebese ngikwenda lokufaka ema cases ekuganga nako konke. To me it was part of it was a revenge, although I didn't know ukuthi ngilaya bani. Yeah, but it was exactly how I felt, because kuboshwa kwami bengu-enjoya. It's something like where you feel like it's a trophy. Kuboshwa
Getting into trouble.
Getting into trouble.
Yeah, it's fulfilling.
Exactly.
Okay, let's just start the story, from the beginning. Here you are, a young man, very handsome, usenhlangano, and then at some point, because it share with me, you also have this passion for Ebola. Just tell us about that. With night team, uyayithola, uyayithatha gege, bese uyayithenga wena, and then you develop that soccer team. Please do share that with us.
Yes, ngisebenza eSupreme where life beyikahle. Ngisebenza ngikhona kuhola ngibe nemali, and I was also selling cars. Then ngase ngihawukela igege Happy Stars, and with the beauty of Ebola ke then negotiate ukuthi okay ngicela kuyi-runner as a manager. That time manager coach was not in people's mind, so ngakukopa nje from abroad, Europe. I like Manchester United even today, so ngayithanda indlela Ferguson that was doing things. So ngaku implement kugege Happy Stars with those players, and then I took the team abangphanga team. I just ran the team bakhona labantu abadala, but they were not doing anything. Then I removed the team from gege yabuya inhlangano kwaba ne clubhouse, and then I was doing everything for the boys, and so yakheka kwaba team, and then they start to win, and then we go for him in knockout kusuka ku margin kuya ku Premier League, then sadlala sawina, then masifika ka Premier League, then kwaba ke sekuvuka kumsindo ukuthi team yakeke le team ayisiya Phumlane. Then Phumlane so no, I didn't say
then
the team.
Then the talking started.
Yes,
they're fighting.
Ownership. Yeah.
It's a successful soccer team. You go Premier League, and it's all thanks to you.
In fact, bona bebacabanga ukuthi there's a lot of money. Vele imali beyikhona, but Phumlane I never had that in mind. Yena bethanda nje ukuthi do something.
No push by passion.
Passion yabona.
Understandable. So there you are, guys. So you did the Premier League, unale football team, uyayekela. You lost interest because of the talking njengoba
Yeah.
you shared.
Yeah.
And then uyasho ukuthi usuka enhlangano ufika eMbabane, wakhatha impilo eMbabane illa eTulu. And you want to play catch up. Ubambe lizinga laseMbabane. How was that?
Nangiyekela ibhola because I have to maintain the status sami ukuthi I'm a young man, I have to fit in the town. Because Mbabane was at that time even today. So I had to ukuthi nangiyekela ibhola ngibuke ukuthi ngidawuduma ngani. Ngifuna kwatiwa basically. So nangifika ngisebenza ePanetho, then some other friends of mine bangitshela ukuthi hey usebenza kahle, usebenza e-furniture shop, and that time it was the first lapha eNetbank le building the sayivula khona iPanetho. I was working there. So bangitshela ukuthi i-furniture shop kunemali, and then sengigcina ngiyasherisha nje la ngathi hey ngithengisile namhla ngithengise 50,000 cash. So I said what? Ngithi mina ngithengise 50,000 cash, omnye customer lifikile lathenga 50,000 cash. Yeah, ngayithengisela. And then some guys say no Phumlane ubuye la angikuva nje uthini. Ngithi mina no ngithengise i-furniture ya 50,000 cash.
Yes.
For the customer. Company received 50,000 out of my sales. Ngosike yena no Phumlane man. Anyalo lobuya le makhaya solawuvuki. Le mali engaka wena inika belungu.
Yeah, so your friends are trying to encourage you now.
In fact,
yeah, you know, banners.
So bakhuluma in a way ukuthi Phumlane mozvele imali sonke siyayithina. Wena utopha belungu mali. Then ngiyaclicka ke no man should vele khona lesingakona. Bese no bungitshela next time makwende uthola ideal njani. Uthi mina ngenda njani? Uthi no thatha le mali sibone ukuthi singenda njani. Then vele kwendeka because of the events in the country, uthola ukuthi bana ama events for Kingsbay or whatever. So they change the finish, and the people sometimes better in numbers, and especially the country in Swaziland. Now ubuka through ubuka ngemehlo efurniture. It's a rich country than South Africa and the other countries. Banbala Eswatini banemali, cash baba nayo. Yes.
And there you are, utkanza one time, udal customer.
100,000 cash. Little finish.
What did you do after those whispers from your friends?
I say no. Sengtrainiwe phela njalo, well clear. No way. Avele ngabona ukuthi 100,000 atlo mali, yes 100,000 ufuna wabala ngathi okay, sit here my sister. Ngahamba ngaza ngithengela ngisho drink.
Yeah.
Ahlale abe relaxed. I cooked the deal. Ngathatha lo 10,000 kulo 100,000. Ngavula i-HP account. Lokusho ukuthi awuthenga ngesikweletu lo. Yes, high purchase. Umntana abantu wathi uthenga ini cash. Thatha lo 10,000 ngamfakela mina deposit uhleli lapha phansi. Enjoy drink ya Phumlane la ngathi thi Phumlane ndani. Then she went home. I pushed ukuthi deliver le tinto talo umuntu lo deposit enga 10,000 to the company deposit enga 10,000 kuye uthenge nga cash 100,000 and ngenda I fake receipt mina letamnika ithi 100,000 paid that delivered it. Phumlane soyakhohlwa nasekudeliver into ukuthi kufanele achubeke phela manje bese umaintainer le account.
Exactly.
Basuka la company bahambela lo mali installment.
And that's how it came
how
out.
Phumlane
You know what, Phumlane, it's a very interesting story. We have to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, Phumlane is going to share more, I don't want to say horrifying, but, you know, astounding, you know, stories of all the criminality that he was involved in. Please do stay tuned. Just joined us, you're watching A Cuppa with Nomcebo, and today I'm having a conversation with Phumlane Smelane, an ex-convict who has been incarcerated for quite a number of criminal offenses such as fraud, stealing cars, and also selling drugs. I'm talking about a Swazi citizen, a Leswati. Sometimes when we hear these stories, we just can't relate to them. Ngoba we know what is Swati, we are gentle people. You know, awucabangi ukuthi kungaba ngumuntu that looks just like you and myself. And here you are, Pumlani, a very interesting story, you know, about your journey. At some point, go to further in, you know, your workplace, you know, uthatha 90,000, and lapho ngiyabona ukuthi as uqhubeka, you have nyalo more ideas on how to make money the illegal way.
In fact, kwangivula umqondo lokuthi oh, it's easy to make money. And then nangisuka lapho, and then I hooked up with other guys after babonile ukuthi oh, okay, now you can do this. And then the bang introduced kuma trucks. Yes, and then kuma trucks bang tata bang meet with another guy that was from Mozambique, Gamanzini. Then he took me to Mozambique. Then Mozambique bang fundisa kubona cocaine. Kuti cocaine yini cocaine. They place flour, and then they place cocaine, then they place in a stamp. Lubis lebandwana.
Wow.
Yes. Mabakbeke go 3 ungekho ngeke ukhone ukuhlukanisa. And then bangikhomba futhi ukuthi cocaine ungafaka a little bit of cocaine ku flour, ungafaka a little bit cocaine ku nestam, we mix and then we heat up a little bit, then it becomes a third class drug. But that's a very cheap one. So if ungayat bakuthengisela with a huge money.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes, abantu bayadojeka alaba hits laba wafuna go save my it doesn't give you that high that you get from just plain cocaine. Did you use drugs or you used to just sell the drugs?
I did smoke insango for 3 years. I know how it felt masawubhemile. Tshwala bangehlula bebungihlandisa all the time manje ngamnatha but insango I did insango ngiyayati ukuthi imnanzi noma injani ngiyayati, and the 3 years nangibhema bengingakhona ukujora because bengenda mina ngibe shut off longisisi nje bengamfuni nakumboka. Yes, so
they're going to be antisocial.
Yeah, and I used to be too quiet and sometimes cry because of my past, because I used to try to run away from my past. So nang sa Mozambique, then they introduced me to my drugs, and then senginemadlana because I know sengiyati ukuthi imali yakhe kanjani, and then with the way ngingiyo natural, they started by using me ukuthi ngitransporte ama trucks from Mozambique, Joburg, Botswana, Cape Town. And I used to drive alone. Wow. Because I don't know what was happening. Benkhona. I remember the other huge consignment I mix about 10 bags in Botswana ensango.
Wow.
Ngedwana ngemoto.
Got away with it.
Yeah.
Delivered everything
Very
smooth.
clean.
No hiccups.
Even no police. Labatang misa bengiphume Oshoki. Ngiphume ngihambe kahle. Oshoki nangifika ngehla, hey, unjani Smirana ukhona? Yebo uyapha hayi ngijika la eMel noma ngeJoburg. Bengingabukeki ngisigebengu. So people I don't know what was betraying them or whatever that was.
You were charming.
Maybe, I don't know.
you were charming.
So bengkhona driver alone. Ngiye eBotswana. Ufike deliver nsango. Bangibhadale, then that was a lot of money at the time. And I take back with the car.
And then at some point you find yourself Kenya loges ngoba phela naku ema skills akho aya elevating, you know, you're getting better and better, you know, in what you're doing. You find yourself in South Africa.
In South
you
Africa.
are exposed to another life now that is stealing cars.
That was another beautiful one because nga discover, in fact mina ngiya konjingila emakhaya enhlangano. So I thought kweba imoto would be a big problem because it's a car, it's a big thing. But ngathi ngifika eJoburg bangitshela ukuthi now bakhipha bakubeke mall. Buka let moto le tifana na tonke. So now uthatha le moto le ukhipha le number plate ufaka lenye number plate. Kude indlela yokuyihlukanisa ukuthi yabani.
Wow.
yabo. So I started to learn that. I thought, oh, okay. Then they took me to another site where in South Africa they pay a car for 3.5. Kube ngafike bathenge yakhe imoto sahamba ngayo basimisa airport noma kuma stop sign bakutshele ukuthi sifuna na imoto nayo sine customer kuphi na kuphi. So lo ngiyakwadi mina I've never heard with my so
Yeah.
nifike nime lapha nitbuke let moto and then some of the cars nitlandzele to see ukuthi tihlalaphi. Then le moto le ayebiwa le moto ide ibhaya.
So, oh my word, here I am, I'm driving my car, and already in the identify, because you know what, this is the car that we are going to steal, and you tail these people.
Yes.
And when you steal these cars, is it at gunpoint or maybe nyabayekela ukuthi bayipake kumbe ekhaya nifike nigcekeze lapho or etitolo? How do you perform that?
My team was used to come at night because leyo team being labo clever nyana labagangako. During the day we are very smart people, lookable guys, decent, hamba nemachere and then all the lights.
You're clean, you don't look like a criminal.
So very good. So ebusuku then we go hamba team maybe about 6 to 10 guys and each guy funa buye neyakhe imoto. And i-target ayazi akuthathwa noma ngiphi imoto kunetimoto letifunakalako because those cars has to go to Mozambique. Some of the cars have maybe go too far as Tanzania, some other cars. So each and every person lawunika assignment ulanza imoto le kuphi. Thina besingakwadi lokufike kukhona bathi ligoqa le bayakwakha. So that special key opens any car.
Any car.
Yes, but they just start it for you. They take that thing to another car and then ganja. So when I work drive a motor till today, place where it's supposed to be. Yes.
So when you take the cars quickly before we go on to our next break, you wait for the owners ukuthi batipake leti moto.
Yes,
Was there a situation whereby leti moto bentithatha nimuke loyo driver noma lo mnini wale moto?
Yes, it's kule team lebenguyo mina bekungende, but there is a team lebesebenza nayo lenye. Now where maybe they will find good during the day they can take a car. Those guys kakhulu ngilaba lesanyana kule crime. Where you'll find with those street boys even today bakhona labanjalo. They've been used to ukuthi bona they only take the car. Bona bafika bayithathe banginike they just ask maybe 1.5 for the car. Kuthi wena sota endani injengoba injalo they don't care.
Right.
So in South Africa, even today, kuna laba seba extreme kubona kuma trucks laba badlanyalo. So they don't care as long kuna lendo labayifuna kulakwe they'll take that.
Wow. Pamlane, this is very interesting. We have to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, Pamlane will be sharing another element of his life, that is his identity, having trouble with his identity, as he was told at some point, what's akasiwa akasimelane. We'll be right back. Before we went on break, we did mention that at some point you're living a life, of being a criminal, selling drugs, nebatimoto, to a point where you even moved to South Africa, where you continue to, to commit these crimes. And at some point in your life, you had this certain anger and this certain drive. You get the bad news, and that totally devastates you. How did you deal with that?
It was a huge one because kuba lukhuni lokuvuma ukuthi awusiye we're part of the family. So kwangithatha isikhathi ku-adjusta neku-understanda kakhulu because ma usesemusha uba ne-anger.
Right, another anger.
Yeah, uba ne-anger. So kakhulu ngiyo I think lebe behind i-life yami ngalandzela yona kakhulu.
Yeah.
And then mangaphosisi mina nje since 1990 ngibe nayo 30 years ngihlala ngedwa during Christmas time. People used to share or
Yes, go to your
celebrate.
families. Yes, it's
so
Christmas, it's family
Christmas. So
time.
mina I never.
And you never had that.
never had that.
You would be alone.
Alone. And maybe I'm wherever because even my friends will go to their families. So. it
And
was a
there you are, you're on your own. What's going through your head, Labo? It's Christmas, njengoba usho.
Yeah, it's
anger.
Anger, and then sometimes bengizama. That's why ngagcina ngena ngama drugs because sometimes I had to ukuthi ngibheme or nginathele ngisangu umuntu oba drunk ngilale. Yebo. So it was very tough for me, very tough, and ngi understand nyalo lokuthi part of the reason impilo yami yabaka so ngalinyatwa kwehluleka ku accept le identity. Yes, lokuthi akusiwa
So that is one of the biggest factors.
Yes.
Ukuthi ukhetha impilo yokuthi you know, be a criminal.
In fact, bengithi in my mind, I rather die rather than to change ukuthi ngabe wakasimelane because benga understand ukwenzakalani. So konke lebengikwenda lapho bese ngikwenda ngingenanhliziyo with anyone.
Right.
Yes, with anyone. Even if ngakhuluma iqiniso today, my father makangcwatshwa bengisejele.
How did that make you feel?
In fact, even today, my brother used to say to me, ukuthi ngiyesaba the way unesibinzi ngakhona.
Yeah.
If I was outside, bengidawugoda.
Yeah.
But I was arrested.
Let's talk about the first time you got arrested. What happened? What went through your mind? Just take us through that experience.
It was very hard for me kuboshwa kwami. Kakhulu la ngifike ngeva khona ukuthi ngiboshwe eMbamba ngesikhathi ngiboshwe eCape Town.
What was different about being arrested in Cape
In Cape Town, first of all, bese ngikhulile. Bengitshele ukuthi it's the last time ngenda crime. So I was carrying because I mean befanele ingijingise. And then nangiboshwa I had a wife by that time. Ngitshela vele ukuthi hayi ngimhlala phansi lona yabona. So nangiboshwa ngaboshwa eCape Town and there was no one that I could turn to in Cape Town. First of all, second, eCape Town awukhulumi isiSwati njengoba sikhuluma. It's either Singisi or other languages. Lela bengiboshwe khona begcwele kakhulu foreigners. So it was so tense and sibaningi one smaller room, 150 people.
Yeah.
Udengisho space ekubeka nyawo. So ngahlala mina about 6 months in prison.
In Cape Town.
In Cape Town. And it was during winter.
How was that?
My sister, it's very painful. And uyabona njalo ngihlele esitulweni. Prison good esitulo. Mawuhlala ku floor flat.
Yeah.
And there is no carpet, nothing. Kuyabanza. It's a torture.
150 in that cell.
150 in that cell. And good ucabangela lo munye.
So you need to survive on
You
your own.
need to make your own way and silwa every night la. Sibanga kudla, sibanga kulala, positions, everything. Sometimes silwele ukuthi you did a small crime and you got arrested.
Wow.
You backshire ejele backshire lo. So it was so painful in a way we would say it made my mind remember ukuthi bengihlingiye emasondweni. Then that's why ngafike ngabe sengiba nako kwethuka khona ukuthi hayi man lana angiphumela.
That was when you were arrested in Cape Town.
In Cape Town.
And that was not the first time.
It was not the first time.
Oba arrested, you had been arrested before.
In South Africa, I think more than 5 times I've been arrested.
And la ekaya, Eswatini?
Eswatini, more than 3 times because sometimes I was arrested during the day, Bangkok and Zamba Maksasa because of Kuba Clever or Kwaleso Skat. But I've been arrested many times, Kakul in South Africa. And South Africa, they know me with different surnames and names because kuboshwa bekungasho ukuthi you have to stop. Ungaboshwa mawuphuma, you have to create another way to continue with the crime or whatever that you need to push.
Look, you've been arrested all this time and then you are in Cape Town, Nyalo. You shared at some point uhleli ejele and it was your worst experience.
Yeah.
And then mawuhleli lapho aqhamuka emavesi.
Yeah.
Lobo wakhumbula. Tell us about that breakthrough, that turnaround in your life.
The worst one is it was the one day, I think besengihleli 3 months prison. Ngiyahamba siye masifika enkantolo ngiyokwenda i-reminding nje ngiyocela ibail. So apparently lelo langa kwasentenziwa 3 walabanye ema-convict lebenginawo. Laba bebane ma-case lamancane kunalawa. Kubo boyi-3 kude ngisho omunye lebamsentenza less than 7 years. So ngathuka lapho ukuthi kushuthi mina ngamhlala na 20 years la prison.
It was a reality check.
A reality kimi ngabona ukuthi la kuyabhetha. Then nangibuyela emuva ngaba nale pain. My wife was pregnant by the time mangimshiya mina. Then ngaba nale pain and nangise prison. Sometimes ngikhala prison bukhona kushaya bese khona kushayela noma kuphi because of the way it is the corruption. So ngamshayela umkami and then I could feel ukuthi she's crying every day. So ngase ngiyadecide one day ngathi no man, I heard about this kind of salvation thing labathi insindiso. One day ngabo 12 ebusuku then I wake up ngathi no man, bangalaleki ngahamba ngaye toilet because lapha bungabanga umsindo prison kuyashaywa na vele wabanga umsindo nje you'll be punished and then rather than ukuthi labala letboshwa takushaya. Then nangifika toilet ngathandaza and angathi not bengithandaza ngithini but I did pray ngathi Nkosi, I've never did this.
Yeah.
Namhla ngizokucela ngivile basho ukuthi wena uyasitana kunjani ngiyakucela.
Yeah.
If ungamane ungiside ngiphumela. Angiyophinze ngibuyele kuma drugs, angiyophinze ngiboshwe. Nangaphuma nje la kuphela ungikhokhela ngiyovele ngibuyele ekhaya.
Yes, uqale phansi empilo.
Into lengiyoyenda ngakhuluma into lengazange ngase ngayicabanga. Ngathi uma ngingaphuma la ngiyohamba ngifike eSwatini ngishumayele house to house to noma ngingenamali ngiyokwenda lokho Nkosi as long nangikhokha la.
And that happened.
It happened.
Waphuma and wabuya ekhaya.
Ngabuya ekhaya.
Wahamba washumayela.
Nangiphuma ngaphuma kwaba imiracle ngoba ngasuka eCape Town bengina 10 rand ukugcina but ngafika la eSwatini ngana next. Don't get motivating la isha bebangithengela kudla. Ngafika.
That was God at work.
Ngafika la eSwatini. Nangifika eSwatini ngashintsha ngahamba ngangena evangelical lelinye libandla lezulwini ngafike ngakhonda khona. Then ngafike lapho ngayiqinisa ke nyalo insindiso yami ngaphakama baba ngasinziswa.
So today it's a happy ending, you know, viewers, a happy ending. Nyalo uyashumayela uyakhona motivate abantu bafundise ukuthi impilo of committing crime akusiyona. And I'm also happy to hear ukuthi you are pursuing your degree in theology. So lona lapho you are, you know, uyadaka ukuthi ube ngumfana nkulunkulu. Phumlani, our conversation is very interesting and unfortunately we will run out of time. It would be nice to actually just share more, but I would just like to say thank you very much for being a role model. We need to hear ma-stories lanjena siyabadinga abophumlane simelane labafana nawe labakhona ukuthi bangene ku-crime uboshiwe on numerous occasions, but God being God, wakhona kukusindisa wakhokha, you know, from darkness, and Nyalo, you are a living light. With that said, Phumlani, I want to say thank you, and I have a gift for you here. This is from Eswatini Candles, our good friends, on a kappa with Nomtebo. This is a candle that I'd like to gift you. And I want to just say, Phumlani, continue being the light that you are. You are an inspiration. Ongatsinwa baba. Ongatsinwa njengoba ushido. Bantu, they are all around you.
Yes.
Push the word of God. Thank you very much for coming on the show. And with that, I hope you had a wonderful time. It was an eye-opening conversation. And I do hope that someone watching this show is actually making that decision to be another Phumlani Simelane. Thank you for joining us on Eswatini TV. Good night.
up on the Golden Hour, we have our local and international news updates. Then we learn more about the 2023 Women Farmer Competition. Join us for our Let's Cook segment today on the show and see how a roasted leg of lamb is prepared. Today on the show, we also get to look back at events from this past weekend in our Weekend Roundup. Hello there, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's the Golden Hour on a Monday, guys. Welcome to the show. This is the only show we say hashtag Gumnanzi Ekaya. It is good to be home. Gumnanzi indeed, because today was so hot, guys. Now, if you know me, you know that, or if you know a lot of people, rather, niyatuguthi seba anticipatile is season in summer, guys. So it's so exciting that finally today, Askeva Emakata, guys, and we're anticipating, you know, the season whereby people can go out to play and just have fun and not have to worry about feeling cold. Welcome to the show, guys. It's a motivational Monday. So glad that you guys decided to tune in on Eswatini TV, you know, and watch our exclusive program, because we're always providing you with motivation, especially on a Monday, to encourage you guys ukuthi isikhathi sesishayile ukuthi sivuke sonke siye emsebenzini senetimvo la kumele sitende ngoba ngeweekend siyade ukuthi it's all about spending time with family and friends. It's all about church and also just getting rest if you're a person that works and you're a person that takes care of yourself. So welcome to the show, guys. And of course, on the show, I'm never alone. I'm with my beautiful co-host, Nokpila Masangane. Hello.
What's up, Noma?
If I sing, you see that thing that you did with your lips? Please, tomorrow, this is what I want. You do it
how
for
much
me.
Do you have?
How much do I have?
Yeah.
I have $50. I'm going to go to standard price.
That's even a lot.
That's even a lot.
That's even a lot. So
How
you buy
you
me lunch
doing?
tomorrow, I do your lips.
Okay, you'll do my lips.
Definitely.
Awesome.
I'm great, Noma. It's a Monday. How have you been doing the weekend, and now how do you feel?
Yeah, I'm feeling awesome. I'm feeling fantastic. The weekend was just, you know, the weekend.
Giving you
Nothing
weekend
much.
vibes.
Giving me weekend vibes, spending
Refreshing,
time with my son,
unwinding.
you know, family time. So it was
family time, guys.
Yeah.
Hey. Guys, no, must spend time with her family over the weekend, which is the sweetest thing ever, right?
Yeah.
So welcome back to the show. It's a Monday, guys. Back to the groove of the Golden Hour, back to what we do on a motivational Monday, which is give you a power start to a great week. My name is Nokpila Masane. So excited to be back again on the show. I hope that you guys had a splendid weekend. I hope that you guys will have a splendid time on the show today and the entire time of this week, because it is a jam-packed show on the Golden Hour today. And of course, it's never a day without, you know, celebrations, looking what the entire world basically is fixating towards. And one of the things that we are looking at or remembering today on the show, it is the victims of terror, you know, in our countries, in our communities, everywhere, right?
Yeah.
You know, people go through a lot, you know, as a result of terrorism. We lose jobs, we lose food in the shops, my prices are good. Guys, why are you doing this to us?
Yeah, it's definitely, like, it's a lot. And especially because there's so many wars that are happening. There was the war in Ukraine, now there's war in Sudan. There's so many acts of terrorism. So basically this day was established by the United Nations in 2017, guys, for all communities to come together to support people that are victims of terrorism, guys. Basically today is just about making sure that their voices are heard and making sure that the people that we've lost because of terrorism, like Timpilo Tabo Asidikosha Gamalula, we make sure that we stand up for their rights. So basically the theme for this year is finding hope and building a peaceful future. So it's finding hope and building a peaceful future, amplifying the voices of, you know, people that are probably were affected by, you know, wars and terrorism, and making sure that, you know, we provide a safe space for them to be able to share their experiences as well. So one way in which you can celebrate the day is by supporting the victims and survivors also of terrorism. Make sure that, you know, you extend a helping hand, guys. If you know Golden Hour, you know we always advocate for you guys to help people that are in need, to help people wherever you can, be it shelters, be it people that have suffered loss because of terrorism. So this day basically it's just about, you know, making sure there's people that have lost their lives because of terrorism. And of course, as a community and or as a globe, brother, we need to come together to stand up for their rights and also make sure emphakathini nasema community lamanenga khulu noma nasemaveni lahlukahlukene bakhona and to be supported. So basically that's what we're celebrating.
And on lighter note, today we are celebrating our senior citizens in the country and in the world at large. So it's Senior Citizens Day. So celebrate abogogo nabomkhulu bethu. Labanye ukhanza ukuthi babwakhe uyi-senior citizen but ngibabwakhe yabona. Baba kuna 60 but so folisha category yes, senior citizens. So we're celebrating them today on the show. It's Senior Citizens Day. You know, the senior representatives of our communities, of our country. We are celebrating celebrating them today in the show. Basically, siyababonga ngemsebenzi yabo lemihle, ngekusikhulisa, achievements abo personally, their accolades, because we know that as much as we live with them in the communities, some of them have played a huge, a particular pivotal role in our country at large. We have people that have, accumulated positions as prime ministers, as ministers, as deputy prime ministers, bathi kwaba ne-survey ya 2020 yase-Africa ibuka ukuthi bangakhi bantu abadala ama-senior citizens e-Africa. An estimation though, kwa-estimate ukuthi there's about 74.4 million senior citizens in Africa. That's just an estimation, an approximate number of senior citizens, and babuka ukuthi by 2050 leyo nombolo leyo itabe say triple. So we're celebrating them today on the show. And of course, speaking of senior citizens, we do have the notable ones in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Siyathi ukuthi sake saba na former Deputy Prime Minister Make Constance Simelane naye lomdzala losaphila noma sinabo bomake Stella Kela, sinaye former Prime Minister Olivela Kangwane naye losaphila, one of the longest living, former leaders of the country, Mbabe Mabandla Dlamini naye. We are celebrating them today on the show, and so many other senior citizens that we'd like to mention, but because of time, we have to move on with the show. And of course, one way to celebrate senior citizens, it is to look for one in your community, sit down with your senior citizen in your community and learn something from them, then about their history, or probably the history of the country, and anything else that you could learn from them. With that said, we move on. It's a Monday, guys. One way to motivate you and give you a power start into the week, it is through a quote. Let's see how we can motivate you today on a Motivational Monday. So our quote today is taken from Winston Churchill. He says, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So basically, whether you succeed or you fail in life, what's important, it is having the courage to continue. No matter stage one, but have the courage to continue and work towards, being successful or moving on to the next stage of your life, whatever goal that you have. So make sure that, you fall 7 times, but you rise up the 8th time, and make sure that you have the right courage and determination to achieve your goal on a Motivational Monday on the show.
Yes, definitely, guys. And because it's a Motivational Monday, don't forget that we always show you guys a blurred picture of our artists, guys. By sending a voice note to 7621 4HHH. You already know who it is. I don't know who that is, guys. Send a voice note to the number. Send a voice note to the number, guys. Participate on the golden hour. Maybe you might win something next time if you participate this time. Who knows, guys? So make sure that you participate. With that being said, let's get ready for our news updates on the golden hour. Good evening. Let us go through today's top stories. Making landfall in Mexico earlier on Sunday, tropical storm Hillary has crossed into California, where it is unleashing heavy rain and turning roads into gushing streams, and officials have warned of potentially deadly floods. Authorities across Southern California pleaded with residents not to drive, issuing warnings of mudslides, road deterioration, and dangerous debris flows and flooding, as some communities declared emergencies to respond to the storm. Hillary had been declared the most devastating storm to hit the state in recent years. Cars were getting stuck in flood waters, and local authorities were conducting rescues. Though the storm is expected to weaken, it will continue lashing the region with severe weather as it moves further into the United States. More than 1,000 flights within, into, or out of the United States have been cancelled, and more than 4,900 have been delayed.
Niger's coup leader has promised to return to the West African nation to civilian rule within 3 years. Gen Abdourahmane Tichani made the announcement after meeting the mediators from the West African region bloc ECOWAS in the capital Niamey. ECOWAS has threatened military action to reverse the last month's overthrow of President Mohamed Bazoum if talks fail. The junta had said the Niger did not want a war but would defend itself against any foreign intervention. Gen Tichani also also reiterated criticism of what he called an illegal and inhuman sanction imposed by ECOWAS on landlocked countries. This has included cutting electricity, resulting in blackouts in Niamey and other major cities, as well as blocking crucial imports. Lorry drivers have been stuck for 2 weeks waiting to bring supplies, forcing up food prices. Jen Tichiani said sanctions are not conceived with the aim of finding a solution, but to bring them to their knees and humiliate them. ECOWAS rejected the 3-year time frame after talks yesterday. Regional efforts to reverse the coup have been backed by the US and France, which both have military bases in Niger. These bases are part of efforts to tackle jihadist groups in a wider Sahel region. The junta leader, who has headed the Presidential Guard before seizing power on the 26th of July, said military intervention could worsen the Islamist insurgencies linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State group. Jan Tichiani did not give any details about the handover of power, but said principles from the transition would be decided within 30 days at a dialogue hosted by the coup leaders.
South African athlete Oscar Pistorius, who has been incarcerated for 6 years following a conviction for his girlfriend's murder, Riva Steenkamp, has formally petitioned the Constitutional Court to grant him eligibility for parole. This move comes after his previous attempt for parole being rejected in March. The denial was rooted in the revelation that he had not completed the stipulated minimum sentence duration required to qualify for early release. Pistorius was initially found culpable for murder and subsequently sentenced to 13 years in prison in 2017, following a highly publicized trial that involved numerous legal proceedings. The nation's highest appeals of court stated earlier this year, nevertheless, that the 6-time Paralympic gold medalist must still serve an additional 1.5 years in prison before being considered for parole.
Ex-chairman Elon Musk has announced that the blocking feature, which will be removed from users of X, formerly known as Twitter, claiming the feature makes no sense. The X post said users will, however, be able to block people from directly messaging them, but people on social media said it will make it hard for people to remove abusive posts from their timelines. It is the latest in a series of charges Musk has made since taking over the site in a $44 billion deal last year. Currently, when users block an account, it stops the account's post from appearing in the blocker's timeline and vice versa. An account that is blocked can no longer send messages to the blocker, nor can it view their posts. Former Twitter founder Jack Dorsey seemed to agree with Musk's decision, posting 100% mute only, but there are concerns that muting an account would not be sufficient protection from cases of harassment, abuse, and stalking. The mute function currently only stops notifications about an account's posts. An account that is muted can still view the muter's posts and reply to them. One user called Musk's decision a huge mistake, saying there are toxic people on the platform who users simply did not want to interact with in any way. Removing a blocking feature would potentially violate the terms and conditions of stores like Apple's App Store and Google Play Store. Both stores have conditions stating